You walk into a tavern unlike any other, a meeting place of old and new, of both familiar and unfamiliar. The hustle and bustle of people and creatures is both fascinating and strange at this tavern between worlds. Sitting at a table with you now is me, your humble servant and storyteller, Zima. And the tale that I will tell you is yours. Hello, everybody, and welcome to session 0 of Beyond the Pale. Real quickly, we'll just get some introductions so that everybody can know who everybody is. So let's go ahead and start with, in this window above me, Arma.
Hello, I am Arma. I will be playing Maximus Primordial, a Dragonborn Eldritch Knight.
And then next in this one, we have Lore.
Sorry, I forgot I had muted myself. Hello, I'm Lore. I'm going to be playing Boss Fade, or Boss Fight, however you want to little name play there. But also, it's going to be half elf rogue, so going to be trying to be sneaky as best I can. I've never played rogue, so when I fail, it looks like it's going to be epic.
I was okay, I've never played a DM before. This is new experiences for all of us. And then in this window here, we have Amarasi.
Hi, I'm Amarasi. I'm the bland human of the group. I'm also an artificer, though, with 1,000,001 tool proficiencies.
And then down here, we have Volk.
Zamtarak Stormfury, Minotaur Paladin of the Sea.
And we do have 2 other people who will be part of the normal campaign. Unfortunately, they cannot make it today. One of them might be in a little bit late. We'll see. But either way, let us begin. Huh. There we go. You are standing on the deck of a ship, sailing towards the port city of Flamehearth, the jewel of the east of Lord, a major economic and trade hub. The waves and the seagulls welcome you as you see the marble white buildings coming into view through the mist. Zamtarak, as you're standing on the deck, seeing this sight coming in, which is possibly a familiar sight for you, what are you thinking?
Wondering how they clean all the buildings so well.
Amarasi,
Around, smell the sea.
you feel the salty, briny air fill your lungs. It fills you with a renewed energy and excitement for this new adventure you're about to hopefully set out on. Amarasi, as you are also on this ship, what are you thinking?
I wish I had brought a Dramamine, obviously. Amarasi is terrible at boats, so he is not thinking much.
Make a Constitution saving roll for me.
Oh no. Grab my own dice for that, might as well. I got it at 20.
You are, despite not being good, typically on ships, this is the one time you're actually feeling all right. Maybe you've just acclimated to it. Who knows?
What a waste of an at 20. I was fine with throwing up there.
But as you feel the rocking begin to slightly nauseate you, but you're doing okay. What are your thoughts? What are you doing?
He's very excited to see a new world, you know? explore some people, or explore some villages and meet some people.
As you're hanging on to the rails, you feel a strong hand grasp onto your shoulder.
Best not to be leaning on the railings now, young'un. It's a short drop, but we don't turn around for passengers.
Emerasi is just totally stunned right now. He's like, oh gosh, there's a random person behind me. So he just kind of backs away from the rail with like this look of concern on his face. He really does not want to fall off this boat.
So you feel the hand kind of pull you back away from the railing a bit more.
Here, if you're wanting something to help you deal with the nausea, I've just the trick.
And he pulls a bottle out of his coat and takes the cork off and offers it to you.
Well, I'm always one for accepting random strangers' gifts, so, you know, Emerasi will take it and just chug it.
Make a constitution roll for me.
And this is where the nat 1 comes in. Okay, an 8, plus 2, so 10.
This stuff burns on its way down. You're just barely holding it in now. The mix of the booze with the waves kind of worsened the whole situation for you. Zamtarak, where on the ship are you now? Still on the top deck, or?
He'd likely be, as we got nearer to shore, or if it's rough seas, is right in the forecastle, right at the front of the ship.
All right. You're standing at the forecastle of the ship, and the captain of the ship is walking up, and he just kind of breathes in a sigh.
Been far too long since I've seen the old White City. Have you any plans, Mr. Stormfury?
No idea, Captain. Definitely gonna get off the ship and stretch my legs a little.
Well, we shall be happy to have you on board once again, if only for the meals.
I always did enjoy cooking.
And not more than one of your shanties as well.
Gotta keep morale up somehow.
Indeed. Well, should you be needing any accommodations once we reach the city, you let my first mate know.
Absolutely, I will. Thank you, Captain.
And as the ship draws near, now with the mist and the fog being well away from everything that you have seen, you now begin to see the dock workers and everybody moving around. You have arrived in Flamehearth. As the ship pulls up and you see people scattering around, throwing lines and ropes and cables to each other to tie the ship in place and keep it from moving. Another couple of people on the dock run up with a gangplank and place it. You are now free to go ashore. What do you do?
Immediately evacuate the boat.
And hopefully not your guts.
Well, that's not so much implied at this point. Little throwing up never hurt anyone.
As soon as you step off the boat, Amarasi, both of you make a dexterity saving throw. Amarasi, do it normal. Zamtarak with advantage, please.
Okay.
I got an 8.
That's a 15.
All right. Zamtarak, if you want, I'll allow you to help out Amarasi. You are both walking down the gangplank at about the same time.
Right.
And you notice this human, he's about to go down.
Zomtarok basically would hold out a hand and catch and steady him and go, "Oh, careful. Once you get on land, you'll be a lot better."
Certainly hope so.
It gets easier.
Well, thank you for the help, but we'll see.
Of course. Anytime.
So as you now are walking on shore finally, one of you probably much happier to be on shore than the other. Where are you headed to? Are you both heading to anywhere in particular first, or are you heading straight to the office of one Aubergine Snell that you both know is the person who is interviewing everybody for the expedition to the new continent?
Amaros, you would probably head to a market.
Head to a
It's
market?
always the best place to see how people show off their culture.
Zomtarok probably heads straight to the office.
All right, Zamtarak heads straight to the office. Amarasi heads to the market. We'll go ahead and begin with Amarasi. So you head to the market, and you are seeing, as this is a economic trade center, you are seeing stalls filled with textiles, wood carvings, jewelry, different pieces of glass trinkets. Anything in particular you're looking for? Or are you just browsing?
Just looking around, seeing what people like to sell.
All right. Zamtrok, you head straight for the building that was listed on the paper that you had found, calling for adventurers to interview to join the expedition to the new continent. As you are walking up, you see a marble white building, much like a lot of the other ones, with teal tiles on the roof as shingles. As you enter, there are guards that are there waiting, and one of them immediately begins to ask you information such as your name, state your business, and then also asks if you have any weapons.
Zomtarok looks at him, says, "I'm Zomtarok Stormfear. I'm here about the expedition." And then he looks over his shoulder and looks at his hips and looks back at the guard and goes, "You aren't blind, are you?"
Not blind, sir, just doing my job.
Of course. Yeah, I have many weapons.
Right, looks like you haven't checked them into the inn yet. Assuming you arrived via the port.
Yes, sir, I did.
Right then. We'll hold those for you while you're here, and then once you leave, you'll need to check those into your inn. You can't be walking around town with him.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, that sounds fine. Just be careful.
Of course.
And they take your weapons, and they write down your name as well, so that you can retrieve your weapons once you are exiting.
So Zomtarok hands over his war pick off of his
Mhm.
hip, and his 5 javelins, and the pike off his back, and the glaive off of his other hip, and the maul off his back, and piles these into the arms of the guard and goes, "Go, make sure you take care of those."
As the guard is struggling under the weight, the other one that's nearby just kind of laughs, like, "You got a war horse under there too."
I wish, but not many could carry me.
And the other guard struggles, goes into the other office where they've been collecting other weapons as well, and set it aside. As you enter in, you see a cacophony of characters waiting to be interviewed. Among them, a half-elf rogue. Boss, what are you doing as you're waiting in this waiting room full of people?
Can I ask a clarifying question first?
Yes.
Okay. is this taking place prior or it's, I guess it has to take place after our little side RP? Right?
Yes, it is after.
Okay. Because yeah, still in the middle of it. Right then. So most likely just he's boss is unfazed because he's already kind of certain that he's getting on that boat. But just kind of people watching, no real hostility, just enjoying the commotion.
All right. Another person who is in the waiting room is a dragonborn. Maximus, what are you doing while you're waiting?
So I'm sitting with my back to the wall, cowl up, just kind of stroking the long mane of my beard, watching all of those that come in, kind of gauging to see who my possible competition is to get on this boat.
Make a perception roll for me, please.
Okay. Let's see. With +1. And I got a 10 total.
Okay. So you obviously are seeing all of the other characters. You do catch a glimpse of two other dragonborn that are also here. One that you can't be sure of because you only caught a glimpse, but you think you recognize. Just after that happens, one of the manservants for the city hall there walks out into the room and yells out for one of the other explorers that's, or one of the hopeful explorers that wants to join, and brings him back into a side room. And as he brings him in, you see a human male walk out who seems as if all of his dreams had just been crushed. So you can assume what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Zamtrak.
Maximus,
Oh, go ahead,
I was
sir.
gonna say, Maximus is just gonna, as he watches him walk out to check, he's just gonna be like, not strong enough.
The person that they called in, as you saw, was a elf with some leathers and a small little bit of fur on her shoulders as well. And she goes in, and the door shuts behind her. Zamtarak, once you enter, where do you head to in the waiting room?
Is there some kind of line, or is this clearly like a they will call your name and you'll be seen, like the DMV?
Oh God, not the DMV.
It's very clear for you to see that it's one of those they'll call your name and you'll go in sort of thing.
God, he put
Okay.
the hate of the DMV on us.
It's-
We're cars.
It's like a mix of the DMV and American Idol at the same time.
Yeah. He's probably going to try and find a wall nearby the door, like as close to the door frame as he can get, put his back to the wall and stand just sort of watching the door frame.
All right. After a few minutes, you see the door open and the elf walks out and just heads over outside of the room and lingers in the waiting room. You hear some noise. You hear each of you make a perception check.
Perception is not with me today. 7.
Woohoo! Snapdragons. I gotta make up for all of my terrible RP rolls.
Yeah.
16?
Okay. So,
Jesus. Also 23.
you hear two things amidst the muttering and mumblings of some of these adventurers talking amongst themselves. You hear the elf that had just walked out of the office talking with one of the people at the reception desk. It sounds as if she's been selected and she's being given a bag of something. You don't know what yet. And she departs on her way. The other thing you hear is the guards questioning another new arrival, Amarasi, who eventually, after meandering through the markets, had finally made his way over to the town hall.
Right, any weapons for you?
Emirasi like digs through or drops his backpack and then just digs through it and pulls out a mace and a dagger and just hands them over.
Right. And he goes through and he takes note of what you handed him and your name and stuff like that. Takes it to the side and ushers you towards the waiting room. And much as he did for Zamtarok, also informs you that once you're done, you'll need to deposit your weapons either with the guards or at an inn, as you can't walk around the city with them.
Emirasi, who definitely did not walk around the city with them previously, just smiles and nods and sits down.
As you walk in, the manservant who had welcomed the elf in, you hear him call for one of the adventurers. Master Boz Fide, you'll be seen now.
Perfect. All right, then I'll head on in.
As you walk in, you sit down and or you don't sit down, you walk in and you see sitting at a desk a short, sort of heavier set, very, very fancy looking, but also not exactly the best looking human with his hair done up as fancily as can be done in order to improve his looks, and round cheeks that could only really be described as jowls. And he sits scribbling away at a paper, and he motions at the chair across on the other side of the desk.
Okay, go and sit down happily.
As you sit down, he continues writing, and then he holds up an envelope. I see that you have come not only with your skills, but with a pedigree.
Oh, pedigree. That's right. So I have to remember what we did. I help where I can, and sometimes that helps me along the way.
Well, if it is your assumption that the recommendation of a wealthy house will be all it takes to be part of this expedition and gain my approval, you are sorely mistaken. I have been given this responsibility most auspiciously because I have an eye for talent. Have you any talent, Master Fide?
Talented enough to cause a commotion. Wait, how long since we entered the town?
And it's been 2 days.
2 days. Okay. Um, Talented enough to cause a commotion at the front gate, so I could smuggle in 2 elderly, a couple, and a child. Find talented enough to make connections with members of the second expedition's families, and also gain not only a recommendation from a second expedition and individual's son looking to save their father, but also all weaponless. And I'm here speaking with you.
Indeed. So you are skilled both in subterfuge and breaking the law. A begins scribbling even more furiously.
Well, considering there are no laws to be spoken of in the new lands, I suppose that second one will not be as troublesome. What assurances have I that you will not die outright? Surely you can survive in a city such as this. But we know of no cities to speak of.
A knack for someone of my talents for breaking the laws as such leads to creative ways of handling situations in which you run into. Sometimes subterfuge is the most pertinent way, others, it is maybe a quiet escape or a well placed knife in someone's back. It's helped me so far.
Quite. I trust that none of the other members of your expedition shall be subject to such treachery.
If one thing, I'm here because it benefits myself. So making sure my team succeeds and is also gains renown not only helps you as such an auspicious agent of creating said team, but it also helps me because who doesn't want to hire a rogue that somehow survived the Pale?
He just sits silently scribbling for like another minute or so.
I believe I have enough now to make a determination. You shall depart 2 weeks from... Oh, no, my apologies. 3 weeks from now. Aboard the ship for the Newlands. At the front desk, they will provide you with a paper allowing you to carry your weapons with you for safety purposes only. Should you create any ruckus, you will not only forfeit that right, you will also be imprisoned and stripped of your privilege of being part of the expedition. You will also be provided a stipend of 50 gold.
Very reasonable, and I thank you for taking the time, Mr. Aubergine. I'm glad to be a part of your team.
Yes, I'm sure you are. You may leave now.
Uh, that's right. So the envelope, he's keeping it.
Yes.
Where is the envelope? Did he still have it in his hand, or is it on his?
It's on his desk now.
Seeing as I am now part of your team, may I offer a small request before I leave?
You may. Whether or not I acquiesce is another matter.
Quite fortunate. All I'm asking for is a useless envelope that it appears didn't help me get the job. May I have that on my way out, seeing as how it pertains to me in my connection with a wealthy merchant?
I dare say that this envelope, while it may seem useless in my hands, is far more useless in yours. The envelope was addressed to me, and with me it shall remain.
Wise. Thank you for thinking of my best interest. Thank you for your time. And I get up and walk out.
And you walk out, and you head out into the front desk where you are provided with an envelope and a bag of 50 gold.
Perfect. Question: would I be
Yes.
able to use this permit allowing us to keep our weapons to get them back from the gate guards who took them?
Yes, you'd be allowed to retrieve them and carry them on you, but
Okay.
the thing is, if you cause trouble,
Yeah, of course.
that's not self-defense.
Hmm.
You're off the team.
Perfect. Okie dokie. I'm done so.
And for the rest of you that are waiting, you wait a while longer. A few more people get called, and then the manservant comes out and calls the next name. Master Maximilius Primordial.
He's gonna make his way towards the door. Well, the manservant at the door, I should say.
Yep. You approach the manservant, and he ushers you into the office. The same busy diplomat sitting there. He motions to the seat as well.
I do not take the seat.
He.
However,
Okay.
yeah, sorry. However, Maximus is going to look down and be like, if you don't mind, sir, I'd rather stand. It's uncomfortable to sit in these human chairs.
Well, we certainly wouldn't want you uncomfortable. You may do as you please.
He continues writing.
I see here that you have quite a reputation that precedes you. Surely you have used such reputation to no end in these cities to acquire everything that you have wanted.
Actually, I haven't used it once.
Interesting.
He continues writing.
And tell me, why should I choose you, a bird with one working wing, over perhaps one of your two other kin in that room with two perfectly good working wings?
Maximus smirks. He says, well, unlike the other two, I am not only hardened by the road, but I will kill to survive instead of hiding behind somebody else. And I won't have to do it with a snake for a tongue.
Indeed. An injured bird with a broken wing often does not live long. The fact you survived this long speaks to your endurance, I must say. I suppose you'll be wanting perhaps alternate form of payment upon your return. Do understand the lands of Lord do not look favorably upon slavery.
What my home country does not concern me any.
But it does concern the crown of Garagath. Understand, your payment in gold should have to be enough.
That is all I've needed to begin with. Enough to survive and nothing else.
I dare say you are at least more agreeable than your at least one of the two companions out there.
And he scribbles for a little while longer.
Very well. This expedition will have some need for brute force, so you shall be on the expedition. See my man at the front desk, and he shall arrange for your letter of writ as well as your funds. Your ship departs in 3 weeks. Be ready to meet with Lord Derrigan concerning our preparations for the new lands. You may leave.
As you say, sir. But remember, your writs mean nothing. As I snap my fingers and the claymore lands back on my back as I walk out.
I'll have to make a note of that one.
And then immediately after you leave, the manservant calls for the next one. Master Zamtarok Stormfury, Aubergine Snell Esquire, will see you now.
Zamtarok marches smartly into the room, stands at attention, snapping his heels together at the chair, and doesn't look at Master Snell, looks at the wall behind him, and in a loud voice says, Sergeant Stormfury reporting. Stormbreakers, 1st Platoon.
I see at least they trained this pup well enough. He at least has the good manners not to look me in the eye. You may sit.
Aye, sir. He sits down. He sits with his knees exactly shoulder width apart, left hand on his left knee, right hand on his right knee, and staring same place, straight ahead over the man's head.
As he
Probably
looks,
really easy because he's 7'7".
yeah, and Snell is probably about like 7'7". He's a small dude. He's he's probably about like 5'3". As he looks up from scribbling, he goes,
Right, I do have the... Oh, good lord, can you at least not look over my head? It's disconcerting.
Yes, sir. He looks down at his chin, kind of like wrinkles his nose and looks down at the table below him.
which chin?
Probably the first one, and then realizes this guy is just a tub and looks down at the table. Is like, ugh.
I must say, the recommendation, though it is substantial, was adequate from your previous captain. He makes a particular remark of your singing and cooking skills.
Yes, sir.
Right. And he says you are a formidable sailor.
Yes, sir. Marine. 1st Platoon.
Right. We have need of such skills on the expedition, I dare say, but why should I pick you and not the plethora of other well-trained servicemen that we have?
Permission to speak freely.
Of course.
I can cook gruel and make you think it's a 6-course meal. I can sing morale back into a group of broken men. I can sail a ship by hand by myself, alone, and I've lived in the bilge of a ship off of rats and seawater for a month. I have survived places and battles that most will never see. I am a Marine. That's why you should pick me. When he speaks those words, he looks Aubergine in the eyes.
Eugene just sort of like slightly shifts.
Yes, well, be that as it may, we have several Marines. If all of them are the same as you, the pickings are aplenty, as we might say. Though with your frame you would at the very least make a suitable pack mule. I shall allow you to join the expedition. Your rank, I dare say, shall be more or less a paltry pleasantry at this point, given that you shall probably be the only service member sent to the New Lands. You will get a letter of writ and also your funds at the front desk. Be here tomorrow to meet with Lord Derrigan.
Aye, sir.
You may leave now.
Very well, sir. He stands to attention, and then turns on his heel and marches straight back out.
You head out, you head to the front desk, you get your letter of writ and also your bag of 50 gold.
Zomtarak's gonna ask the front desk person who hands him the gold, is there somewhere I can change this for silver or copper?
I suppose I could change it out here for you if you wish.
Oh, that'd be great. I guess 30 gold worth of silver, or well, 40 gold worth of silver and the rest in copper.
Very well.
And he comes back with 400 gold and quick math of
That's
1,000
gold.
copper.
Yeah, that is a lot of jingle.
That's what I was gonna say. That is heavy. Jeez. My man.
And he puts the bags down that are fairly sizable now.
He takes the bags and pulls open his chainmail, and then there's like a pouch on the inside of the chainmail that he shoves the bags of money into. And kind of pats him and says, "Thanks."
It takes a little bit of padding because the bag is sticking out almost like you've got
Yep.
a weird tumor in the middle of your chest and you have to like kind of
Yep.
pat it down. But it eventually flattens out some though. Not without more than a little bit of creaking sounds as the leather bag that the coins are in is stretching uncomfortably to accommodate its new placement.
All right, great. I'm gonna go get my weapons from that guard that looked like he couldn't handle them.
Sorry to jump in. If for us who are still in the room, or for boss, can he get a feel for the room? Because obviously people are coming in. I'm assuming there's like people between us, right? Or are we all going like back to back to back?
There's people in between you.
Okay. So can boss try to get a feel for the room to see if there's like discontentment, or if people have started to notice who do go up to the desk?
And I'm assuming that you remained there in order to feel out whoever else might be the next, like the other
Yeah.
people that'll be joining you. Okay.
Yeah, so just
So
kind of
you-
left, but like I said, not confrontational, just kind of like looking around.
Make a insight check. Okay, yeah. You definitely at least notice both Maximilius and also Zamtrok as they came back out, and sorry, Maximus, not Maximilius. Sorry.
I was letting it ride.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm
Maximus.
sorry, Maximilius was my father's name.
Yeah. It's technically my name too, but I just didn't want to be called the same thing, and I don't want to be called Junior. But you saw Maximus and also Zamtrok come out of the office, and them being the only people who went to the front desk, as you did, retrieving their letter of writ and gold. Everyone else that has come out of the office, you have seen them be ranging anywhere from frustrated to angry to depressed.
I was going
Or
to say
so,
Maximus.
has anyone else noticed? That's what I'm kind of get a feel for too.
There's one in particular that makes it fairly obvious, who you saw exit right after you did. And he has been arguing with two of his companions in the lobby where you are at.
Okie dokie.
And actually, Zamtarok, as you finish
Yes, sir.
getting your gold and patting it down, the other one who is in the lobby right now, who has been arguing with the other two of his companions, he turns to you. And he's a bronze dragonborn. And he sees the letter of writ in one hand, and he sees the slight bulge from the coins that went in. And he marches straight towards you.
So, this is one of the riffraff that they have chosen instead of me.
You have stolen a great chance from me, hairy one. I was going to bring a great many slaves back from this trip.
That's a shame.
It would be more of a shame were I to slit your throat and take your place. Armasa,
Zamthrok slowly smiles and just goes, I would love the challenge.
Zamtrak, I saw. Sorry, not Zamtrak. Maximus, I saw the hand up. Go ahead.
While this is going on, because I've been trying to say like Maximus has been like surveying, especially those Dragonborn.
Yes,
Um,
I figured.
yeah. May I? It's not my strong suit, and I do have disadvantage. But can I roll a stealth to get behind them?
You can. Also, Amarasi, you also hear this because you, having just most recently, been one of the people who entered, the room had gotten more crowded and you were kind of more stuck near the entrance to the room. So you were close enough to also hear this.
Oh god.
Unfortunately, I only
Amarasi,
rolled.
just all of us kind of like making a big damn scene. He's like, I just want to go in, please.
Ross is like, I'm already nervous enough for this
Yeah.
interview. Please don't stab me.
I'm already. I rolled a 2, but I'm also like I'm trying to be stealthy, but not the same coin. Like to see if his friends go to grab me or whatever.
As you start to move, give me just a second real quick. Oh, yeah. As you start to move, your one wing accidentally knocks over a candelabra that was on one of the tables near the wall.
Mhm.
And the two companions spin and see you. One of them, his eyes kind of narrowing, trying to place where he's seen you before. The main Dragonborn, however, is entirely too focused on his target in front of him.
Good. So I'm going to effectively like push by him, like as I stare him down as I'm drawing my Kopesh to put around behind the other Dragonborn's neck and be like, Bronze Claw, enough is enough. Know when you've been beaten for once, boy.
He snarls as you bring this around. And Zamtrak, you see this Kopesh come around the neck as well.
Just can't stay out of it, can you, Maximus?
Unlike some, I know my place. Maybe you should learn it once in a while.
The only place you have ever known is exile and dishonor. You dare speak to a noble like that?
Ah, yes, but you seem to forget. You're not in Palthera. You are in someone else's country with no knowledge of what you do. You'll find nothing here that you need. Now run along. As I pull the Kopesh away.
He just kind of rubs where the Kopesh was resting and looks over at you, Zamtrak.
Zamtarok grins and speaks quietly so that this dragonborn hears and says, funny that the words noble and honor leave your mouth and your snake tongue right after you talked of slitting someone's throat to take their place.
It is a place that should have been mine.
We will be leaving.
But this will not be the last that I see of you, horned one.
And he spits.
I wish Valkur to speed the day.
He spits at your feet and then turns to leave.
Don't leave this water behind, neighbor. You might need it wherever you're going.
And you just hear like a scoff as he walks out the doors.
Zamtarok just chuckles as he leaves and turns to Maximus and says, Thanks, that could have turned really ugly for him.
Ah, you have no idea, my friend. Maximus, as he puts his Kopesh away and puts his hand out.
Zomtarok takes his hand and sort of shakes his hand firmly and says, Zomtarok Stormfury. I'm hopefully going to be doing well on this expedition, I suppose.
Ah, you made the cut too? Good. At least I know somebody will have my back.
Always will. Every crew's a crew.
Maximus is just going to nod his head as he puts his Kopesh away and starts to walk back to where he was sitting previously.
I don't know why, but I get as you two shook hands, I just got this mental image of like Predator, the you son of a bitch.
Oh yeah.
they're like starting to really like each other, but they're also kind of like flexing to see like
the two buff men shaking hands.
It's like Full Metal Alchemist, where it's
Alchemist, yeah.
Armstrong
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
wife just like.
Zomtarok goes to get his weapons from the guards, like right away.
All right. Boss, I saw you getting ready there. Were you doing something as well?
Oh no, I was just I feel bad because I was typing in your Twitch. I was like, let them fight, all these 7-foot tall bastards, just beat the hell out of each other.
Amarasi, as you've been watching this whole thing unfold, what are you thinking? What are you doing?
Amarasi is mostly clueless to it. He's really just like, oh god, I'm super nervous for this stupid interview. Like he's 100% a ball of nerves. Like he's got his legs shaking. He's like going through all his notes. He's trying to see if he can remember what 2 + 2 is. It's not going well.
Make a perception roll for me with disadvantage.
Okay. 17 for the first and 10 for the second.
So you hear something and your mind is telling you like that's something you should pay attention to, but you just kind of like space out because you're distracted by your nerves, by everything that just happened out in the foyer, all of it. And then the second time you hear it, Master Amarasi, are you here?
Amarasi like quickly stands and his notebook comes falling out of his lap, and he's just like, yes, I'm here. Yeah. Yep.
Master Snell will be seeing you now.
Emerasi starts to walk towards the door and then realizes he forgot his notebook on the ground and then like doubles back to grab it and just awkwardly follows like try not to make eye contact.
He
It's a
ushers
French
you.
foyer.
What was that?
I said, it's a French foyer.
Yes, indeed. Quelle surprise. As you are led inside Amarasi, you see the same busy diplomat-looking fellow sitting at the table, scrawling away on a piece of paper. Any motions for you to sit?
He kind of awkwardly sits. Like, are there multiple chairs in the room?
There's 2 in front of the desk.
Like, he kind of like gestures to which chair he should take, and then just realizes like, oh, I should probably just sit down. So he just sits down in a random chair.
And
Sits in
Aubergine
one, gets up, moves the other, sits down. Wait,
just like, is there a right answer? Is there a wrong answer?
Oh god, I should have been in the right chair because that's the right one, but is it my right or his right? Ha! I don't know.
After you eventually pick your seat and you sit down, Aubergine is just silently scrolling away.
Emerasi just kind of sits there for a couple seconds, and then he like clears his throat. He's like, Emerasi, here to see you.
He just looks up at you and then looks back down and continues scrawling and scribbling away.
I'm here about the expedition, sir. The
You
interview.
and all the other riffraff out there. Pray tell, why should I pick you over any of them?
Well, you see, if I had note cards, I would totally have dropped them by now. Well, you see, I am an artificer. So I'm very good with tools. I was called a tool once, but I'm not sure how relevant that is. I'm really good with tools. You see, he pulls out Smith's tools, just really like digs in his bag, pulls out Smith's tools, and he modifies his armor for a second, and it clearly shows that he now has cartographer's tools like kind of ingrained into his gauntlet, and he says, "You see, I can make any tool that I am good with, and I'm good with a lot of tools. Like I can make maps, I can cook pretty well. I've got smith's tools, painter's tools. I can do some light alchemy. I've been told that my drinks though don't taste too good. Um, and you see, my armor is really cool, is super cool. And so the armor, being that it is magically enhanced, it the helmet like kind of retracts and then comes to totally cover his face, and then he unretracts it and he says, "Well, I've got really good armoring skills."
And as you're going and going and going, you see his eyes getting more and more glazed over. And he finally just sighs and like rolls his eyes and just like,
Please spare me the rest of your explanations. Heavens.
and he goes back
E-
to scrolling.
Emerasi has this really like good idea. Like you can see the light bulb turn on, and he pulls out a map or a piece of like cartography paper from his backpack, and he turns his gauntlet into the cartographer's tools, and he draws a map of the square to his memory from being in there for like 30 minutes. A map of the market that he was in.
All right. Go ahead and do a roll for the cartography tools, please.
Damn, that was really smart. My man.
Give me a second. I totally forgot what cartographer's tools are supposed to use. Is it just
Make a map.
In this
Level?
case, I'm going to say do a history check.
okay?
Memory.
I got a
And I'll let you roll it with advantage since you did spend a good amount of time in the market.
Okay. Okay, so I got a 15 for the first roll and a 15 for the second roll.
You draw a perfectly average map of the marketplace. It's not overly detailed, but it's not wrong. It's just a
Emerasi
perfect.
pushes the map over to him and says, I did not spend long in the marketplace, but I have created a map for you to show that I have good mapping ability, if nothing else. I also speak a couple of languages, if you'd like me to demonstrate that.
Reginald,
And he calls, and the manservant that had ushered you in walks in, and Aubergine just sort of motions towards the map.
I don't accept things, I don't touch things, I'm sorry.
And Reginald comes over and holds up the map for Aubergine to look at.
I suppose it's workable. Though I suppose even a child could draw the market after spending an entire day there.
Emerasi's face just kind of falls. He's like, oh, shite. Not great.
That will be all, Reginald. You may dispose of that unless our dear friend needs it still.
No, of course. I can remember my way around the market still.
Indeed. You may leave us, Reginald.
And he goes back to scrolling.
And Emerasi like really thinks for a second, and then he's like, "I'm also an anthropologist. And his voice is a lot more confident now. I study people and languages. I'm considered an adept linguist. Whenever I spend time observing any creatures, I can typically parse out the basics of their language within a day or so."
And Aubergine sort of just perks an eyebrow at that.
That perhaps would have been something better to start with, my young boy.
And he
Yeah,
writes,
yes, of course. I'm very sorry. Useful
As you
skills
should
first.
be, wasting my time is paramount and tantamount to wasting the time of the Crown of Garagath. I am indeed their most esteemed representative here.
Yes, sir, of course. I was hoping to give you a broad demonstration of my skills, but I suppose I should have started with what is most useful first.
I beg you save the demonstrations for Lord Darrigan,
and he can finish his writing.
who you will meet with tomorrow. You may leave. See my man at the front desk, and he will provide you with everything you need to prepare for the voyage. And for the love of God, please depart from my sight.
Yes, sir, of course, sir. He kind of rapidly stands up from the chair and knocks it over as he's standing, and then he kind of tries to put it back in place, and then just turns around and leaves and goes to the desk.
Reginald,
As he opens the door right as you're getting ready to leave, and as you walk out, roll a perception check.
Okay. 14.
14. You just barely hear, uh, as you're walking out, Aubergine saying to Reginald,
would you please wipe down the chair and check to make sure he didn't leave anything behind?
and you head out.
How wooed.
Oh yeah, this is a guy who like was given the job, told that he was like the best choice for it, but really just nobody else wanted to do it, but he let it go to his head. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I love, I posted it in your Twitch. It's like I love that I hate this man so much.
Such a good courtier.
So Amarasi, as you head out, you go into the very French foyer and retrieve your letter of writ, and the person at the reception desk is getting the 50 gold for you. I assume everyone else, you were also there in the foyer?
Zomtarok, once he gets his weapons, he's basically just standing by the door.
Okay.
Maximus resumed his seat and is watching those that come out to go to the desk to see who all he's going to be working with, and is taking mental notes, if you will.
Okay.
Boss, obviously, still just people watching. But same thing. Is Healy still there?
No, she departed before you entered the foyer and before you had been seen and everything.
Okay.
So, the three of you see this rather nervous-looking human enter the foyer, speak with the person at the desk, and get a letter of writ and a bag of gold, just as each of you did. Or money, at the very least, in your case, Zamtrak.
Yep. Don't like gold.
And what do each of you do? Amarasi, at least, what do you do?
Emerasi is going to go back to the market, now 50 gold pieces richer, and planning to spend all of it on stupid things.
Before you
As
do
a-
that, Zamtrak?
As a note, Zomtarok is standing by the front door near the foyer. When Amarazi walks by, he goes, so you got your sea legs back off yourself.
I don't think I ever had sea legs to begin with. He gives
Right.
like this stupid smile.
Zomtarok grins to him and goes, so we'll be working together then.
Oh, did you make it to the expedition as well? Excellent. I'm
I did.
glad there will be someone to counterbalance my clumsiness.
Don't worry. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Just don't, well, just don't blow yourself up or us or the ship or.
I'm not that skilled with explosives. I wouldn't normally pull them out unless it was a dire emergency.
Oh, okay. Very good.
He totally misses the joke there. Just totally.
Some track just grins at me as well then. I suppose, as a note, if you see a bronze dragon man wandering around, I'd stay away from him.
I'm accustomed to avoiding Dragonborn.
Samtrak just nods, like, good move. I'm Zamtarak. What is your name?
I'm Amarasi, and he kind of puts his hand out.
He takes his hand and like shakes it with a firm grip. Is like, oh, good to meet you. Well, I suppose I'll see you here tomorrow when the Lord shows up.
Yes, the Lord. And Amarasi like tries to remember. What was the Lord's name again?
Darrigan.
There again. I will remember that. I hope.
Probably easy to write it down.
Are you guys saying this loud enough so that people like eyeballing or can hear it, or is this a hushed conversation?
Zamtarak's when they start talking about the expedition specifically and that they're coming here tomorrow, Zamtarak does lower his voice, but other than that, he doesn't seem to have any qualms about being like, "Yeah, I made it.
Mhm.
What you gonna do?" Because now I'm armed. By all means.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite fair.
Amarasi would be way too clueless to use whisper tones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's not present in the he can't read the room.
Yeah. Zamtarak is going to eye around a little after this conversation to see if there are people possibly staring daggers at him or something, so he could be like, "Oh, those people are going to be problems later."
Mhm.
In that case, for Boss and Maximus, are you both listening in on this conversation? And if so, are you trying to sort of eavesdrop?
Oh, I'm not eavesdropping. I'm just listening. But I also like when Zamtarok says something about a bronze dragonborn. I just kind of nod my head.
I guess it's depending on our passive like perception. Like mine sitting passive perception is 16. Is that but I would be trying to see to listen to the people who we're starting to notice who are going to be on the team.
But are you trying to be stealthy about listening in, basically, or are you not too worried about it?
Actually, well, I was gonna let him fight and not step in, so just to kind of get a feel for it. But actually, that's a good point. What was told to, I guess, to me wasn't quite the same. This is out of character. I apologize.
Hmm.
Just to clarify, I wasn't told to come back tomorrow to meet with Gafgarian or whatever, or
Darrigan.
wrong name. Yeah. So was that on purpose, or was that just? Are we all supposed to come back tomorrow?
You're all supposed to come back tomorrow.
Okay. So
Snell
then
just
no, then
isn't
it's
very
just
good
all
at his
common.
job.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So then, yeah, I'll be not staring daggers, but I guess I'm also, yeah, actually, I'll be very blatantly listening in. Not like leaning over the shoulder, but if he's looking around, he should see me staring at him.
In
Not
that
angrily.
case, Zumtruck, make a perception check for me.
Okay. That is a 12.
Yeah, with the 12, it's obvious enough. You see, obviously, Maximus, who's sitting there, and you see the nod from him when the bronze dragon board is mentioned. And you do notice, Boss, kind of glancing over in your guys' way, listening.
Zamtarak just nods to them.
Yeah, so when he looks and obviously seeing the nod between them, I'll pull out the writ as well, just kind of and flash it with a smile and a nod.
Zamdrak smell us back.
All right. So
And he's
then,
just going to stand by the door.
all right. So with that, Amarasi, are you going to be departing from the town hall then?
Yes, he's gonna pick up his weapons first, though.
Okay. So you pick up your weapons and depart. Is anybody going to be traveling with him?
I was gonna say Maximus isn't going to travel with him, but he's definitely going to travel behind him.
So
Kind
kind
of
of
keeping
tail.
an eye on him keeping an eye on while he's going to make sure
I
that
suppose
our
Amarasi could use a
friend,
chaperone.
yeah, it's like make sure our mutual hatred for a friend doesn't take our poor little artificer too soon.
Such a wonderful lady.
Yeah.
Just talking to Lore. I saw
Oh,
his
yeah.
lady bring him something to eat. It's just like,
Oh,
aw.
D-Wall.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
You're lucky. My wife just throws things up into the loft for me.
Just, you're like, you'll get it sooner or later. Like, all right.
Probably afraid of getting like fingers bit or something like that. Just toss it in and shut the door. Just hear the snarling.
Oh no, we have an open loft, so she literally just throws it from the living room up into here. Like, I got you a bar to eat here. Poof.
I could just like imagine like David and Goliath. She's just using the bag, just like.
He just slings it up there like, work for it. Huh? So, but you guys are all starting to kind of head out.
Zamtrak stands by the door until basically the room is either empty or he's told to leave.
Okay.
Or if you all start to leave, he'll follow you. But other than that, he wants to make sure that because he doesn't know how many people are going on the expedition, he wants to identify the other people who he should look out for as these are people working with me. If they get attacked outside of here, I should help them. And people who are clearly like, oh, I wasn't selected to be America's next top idol, so I'm going to go kill someone.
It's the darker side of American Idol that we never get to see.
Yeah.
Though I bet
Murder
people are thrown
American
in.
Idol.
Though I would say I would definitely watch American Idol more if they showed
Yeah.
that.
America's
Honestly,
Squid
yeah.
Game 5.
Idol, Squid Game.
Yeah. I was like, if it had Squid Game 5, 100%.
Two
All right.
can win. They will murder each other for it.
Two
Sing
singers
Wolf to the
enter.
dead.
One idol leaves. They no
That-
longer
yeah, I
care
would
about
watch
your.
that.
They no longer care about you texting in to vote. It's just down to who can survive.
Yeah.
How
I
far
would
away
watch
is the
that.
market, by the way?
What was that?
How far away is the market from where we're at?
I'd say it's if you guys are walking, it's probably like a 15, 20-minute walk.
Okay. So a little bit over a mile then.
Oh god, I just realized I never described. Have we described what we looked like aside from the basics of race?
You have not?
Racist.
Zamtarak stands out like a sore thumb because he has a long braided beard and a mohawk, and all of the hair on his beard, his eyebrows, and his hair are bright blue.
Hmm.
His armor is also red, blue, and gold, so it's hard for he doesn't try to hide at all.
Yeah.
He clearly can't stealth, so he's just like, well, since I can't be hidden, I'm just going to be here.
Well,
Loud
having
and
seen
proud.
The picture that's cycling through
Yep.
Winter's Twitch, it looks awesome as hell.
Yeah.
Also, glad that somebody mentioned that. That took me a little bit of work, but I
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah, you did great.
Good going, man.
Thank you.
It's a really nice scroll. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this is a professionally done thing.
I don't know about professionally. I did my best.
I just like it. I'm glad that there's two giant 6-7 foot honking monstrosities, and I'll be like, I'm just gonna disappear. You guys, pay
You can
attention to
literally
them
hide behind me, and no one will
while
notice.
while I stab you in your neck.
Also, Zamtrak, I feel like I should pass this on from chat. Segment UK says there better be weapons and snacks stashed in that beard.
Oh yeah, all the crayons.
That's right. Nom, 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 nom.
Is that the weapon or the snack? Yes.
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 It's like even is that even a marine joke too? Oh my god,
Yeah.
I work on a lot of different levels.
I mean, background Marine. I am a Marine, so it's like it fits.
Yeah.
That's why he approached Aubergine the way he did. Just like, I am here reporting for duty, and he's just like, please sit down. I'm like, oh, you're one of them.
Yeah.
Let me look over your head. Oh, don't look over your head. Okay, look at your. Oh, look at the table. Look at the table.
Just
You are hideous to look upon. Please, no.
deal. But to also, yeah, I kind of want to hang out, see if we notice anyone else get the writ or whatnot.
Okay,
Boss, your
so
character's a half elf.
Mhm.
Oh,
so Amarasi, you're heading out to the market, right?
Yes.
And Maximus, you're following him.
A healthy distance.
All right. And the other two are remaining at the town hall.
See.
All right.
Yes. I was going to say, Maximus can surmise that Amarasi is not 100 points into the present, so he's just going to make sure that nobody tries to take advantage of him effectively.
The present is stupid. I like to think about the future.
gets to the market, is like, I'm gonna buy 50 gold with it. Wait, where'd all my money go?
Why do you have so many pies? Don't question me.
Actually, I was hoping that I could get a bunch of snow globes, you know? I feel like those are a brilliant thing to bring into the
A
new
great
world.
investment. The new lens
Absolutely.
could use more snow globes.
Just
The
like,
snow globe market will be skyrocketing one of these
Amarasi,
days.
what did you bring? Lava lamps and snow globes. Like, oh, okay.
It covers all aspects. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, you need some emergency water? Here you go. You need some emergency food? I guess these snowflakes will do.
Mm-mm.
You need a friend? The figure in there is pretty cool, you know? Pretty nice.
We'll call him Wilson. This is edible.
Anything's
Mostly.
edible if you, have strong enough
Yeah.
teeth and are brave enough.
You try hard enough. You might only ever eat it once, but
Yeah.
Everything's edible if you commit.
also, while we're sitting there, and I'm guessing it's starting to like empty out. I want to kind of also head over towards the person giving out the writs and
Hmm.
the houseman. I don't know whatever we're
The
calling it.
receptionist.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So you walk over to him. Is there anything in particular you're gonna?
Yeah. So, my good man, it seems you being a part of this, and most likely, are you from here, sir?
Yes, born and raised.
So you would know the area, correct?
I should hope so. Yeah.
Now that I'm a part of the third expedition, I've also been doing my best to connect to find information about the second expedition, and I know I was close to some information about some other individuals. Would you happen to know where I could find anyone who would have a connection with the second expedition?
Well, of
And if
course.
so, I'll make it worth your while.
No need, sir. Lord Aubergine pays my salary. It's sufficient. But I can help you with that. So there is the abbot who works over at the Temple of Saint Cohen. Sorry. He is one of the people who sent one of his paladins over to the Newlands. Aside from him, I believe the only other person who might have someone here in Flamehearth, at least, is Leafin. That's his name, Leafin. Has a wife and a kid, I think, back in the less privileged district.
Kid, you say? Would this kid be mute by chance?
No pun intended, but can't say for sure.
Where would I find this Leafins, or these Leafins?
The Brook family. I think the mother works at one of the taverns nearby. Oh, what was the name of that tavern? And you see him just kind of like, he's like working it out himself, like in his mind as he's trying to go through and like place, and you hear like a few mutterings of like, oh yeah, no, not there.
Side question: do I still have the map that the daughter drew for me?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the mother works at the Tumbling Tankard, but I'm not sure.
The name's better than I had. Thank you. And while your pay might be sufficient, a good deed should be repaid. And then I take out one of the 50 gold and I slide it over at him.
He kind of just laughs and is like I said, sir, not absolutely necessary. You see him just kind of like looking around the room as he like puts his hands on the counter on the gold and slides it back towards him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, my salary is sufficient.
Like, even harder, sufficient.
It's adequate.
Yeah, they're like,
It's
"Alright,
technically living wage.
Hmm.
I'm technically alive, so
yeah,
it's.
that's true. And
Yes.
and in as good measure, if I were to peruse this tavern and I see you there, make sure you wave me down.
I can't say I find myself in that part of the city often, sir, but if I ever do and I see you, I'll be sure to say hi.
Thank you. So I'm gonna make my way out now. That's kind of probably cleared out pretty well. And I guess I'm passing Zamtarok, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna walk by, stop, obviously look up because Jesus Christ.
Fair.
Zamtarok, boss.
Good to meet you.
And then I'll just walk out. I'm sure. Also, we're shaking my. I did it on camera. Like I don't know if you guys are obviously watching. Reaching
Just
out
like-
to shake hands.
He shakes his hand, but if there's almost no one left after boss leaves, Zomtrak will probably just follow out.
All right. So you're following boss then?
Yeah.
All right. Split the party. Split the party.
I was actually chanting that earlier a little bit
I mean,
in my
you know,
brain.
we have one tank with each squishy. You got to make sure.
Yeah. All right then. Amarasi and Maximus. I guess more it's a question for Amarasi. Where are you headed in the market?
He already told you snow globes and lava lamps. Come on.
The
Clearly,
trinket
it's about the
seller.
dragon weed. No,
I
probably
believe
to-
that we call it Cobalt Kush around here.
Oh, okay.
That's right. It's name
Actually,
brand
probably to like an alchemy supply store.
Alchemy
The
Supply Store.
Aarakocra Express.
I haven't heard that, but I
That's a
like
good
it.
one.
That is a really good
That's a
one.
good one.
Let me just write that down real quick.
We're
Save
gonna
that one for
start
later.
We're gonna start selling D&D inspired devil lettuce when it becomes federally legal. God, that'd be amazing.
That would be very good products to sell.
I'm
Yes,
hearing
here
a
is
business starting up.
kobold kush, or do you want some dragon's weed?
Anyways, alchemy
Dragonborn
stuff.
dank.
There we go. Just pulling up the stuff that I got here. All right, so you're walking around the market, and you are. Have you ever been to Flamehearth before?
No, he wouldn't have.
All right, so you don't know where the alchemist shop is.
Yep, time to get hopelessly lost.
Maximus is about to get hopelessly annoyed.
So you begin walking around the markets. You're not seeing a whole lot of alchemy shops so far. What do you do?
Go up to the nearest stranger and ask them for directions.
Also, Maximus, are you trying to be stealthy about
No.
following behind? No?
No, but I am definitely not trying to look like I'm like guarding him. So it looks like
Right.
I'm just meandering around.
So you bother the first person on the street that you find, Amarasi, and he's looking over some goods, and you like interrupt him mid thought, and he just looks over and is like, "What? What do you want?"
Hello, I was wondering if you knew where an alchemy supply store was. For alchemist supplies.
You don't look like an alchemist.
What do alchemists look like?
Not like you. Alchemist. You know, I did see the alchemist the other day because my grandmother has a bad leg.
Oh no.
And he starts telling you and regaling you with the tales of his grandmother's bad leg and how she fell down in the house the other day, and how his mother sent him out to go and get the supplies, but he didn't really want to. He kind of finds her to be a little bit of a tired old hag. And he just keeps going.
3 hours later.
And Maximus, you're just watching this. You're watching as Amarasi is just stuck in this conversation.
Yep. I'm actually more like, now that I see he's kind of stuck in this conversation, I'm kind of watching the crowds, seeing if there's anybody possibly with malicious intent. Looking for those that, pretty much anybody that was in the town hall that could have possibly, made us for those that made the trip.
Someone looking to get rid of their 50 gold bag.
Oh no, that's none of my concern.
Oh, okay.
Someone who's looking to steal my 50 gold bag
That's
and
right.
my writ.
Yeah, or your life. We'll figure it out.
The life is less important than the 50 gold right now. This is more money than I've ever had.
I love that distinction. That's
At
fantastic.
least 49 more gold than I've ever had.
So in that case, I'm going to have Maximus do a perception check. And Amarasi, I would like you to do a charisma saving throw.
All
One of
right.
these days, you'll give me investigation.
Oh god, I got a 6 plus 3 for my charisma saving.
I have a 17 total.
All right. Maximus, you do see a couple of people that are over at one of the stands that is selling basically just grilled meat on skewers, paying a little extra attention to Amarasi. Amarasi, you are like so tired from the trip and also from the stress of seeing and having to put up with Snell. And then now you've got this. Your morale is taking a little bit of a hit. So I want you to actually, I believe there should be the sanity. We're going to be, for our purposes, using that as morale. I want you to move that down one. Oh, I can't hear you anymore.
Yep, okay.
There we go.
Keep forgetting that I'm on push to talk.
Like he's so in character, he's utterly speechless. He's like,
I am 100% speechless right now. Oh gosh, sanity.
Finally, partway through this guy's rambling, he actually mentions when he's talking about how sore he was from the walk over to the medical district. He kind of points you in that direction, but he's still going. So you have your answer, but he's still talking.
Emeraldi at this point just starts speaking orc at them. Like, very confused orc.
I don't know. Do we stick with what's canon?
I was just thinking that.
That's what
Jeez.
stood there with that fucking face on. I was just like,
To anyone else,
So
Yeah.
that's great. You have to, yeah.
So as an explanation, Amarasi, previous campaign, we made it canon that Orcish, to anyone who doesn't speak Orcish, just sounds like grunts and like angry noises like that. But to anyone who speaks Orcish, it's very posh British.
So
Oh my God.
So outside
So what
of
are you
like,
saying in Orcish? And please give us your best posh British for when you're saying it.
Oh god, I'm terrible at British. Would you like a spot of tea? Spot of tea.
The best part is
Please,
we did
sir.
this with an actual English player.
Guide
and he was,
me
like,
to the
yeah.
spot
appreciated
of
every
tea.
moment of it.
Meanwhile, the only thing he hears is just.
Oh god.
And he stops midway talking about his bunions,
oh my god.
to just be like, "You got something in your throat? I think you do need to see the alchemist."
While this is going on, after like making eyes, or not making eyes, but like noticing that group, I'm actually going to walk over to Amarasi and kind of like put my arm around, be like, "Ah, there you went. I think we need to go this way," and just kind of like pull him away. As I see him like trying to like, he's starting to break down, and just kind of like pull him away from the whole thing. I'm gonna look at the person that he ran into and just be like, yeah, sorry, sir. We have very little time. We have a lot to do today. My friend here, he's new to the area."
And
Emeraldi is just super confused but really glad to be out of the conversation, so he doesn't care.
right, well, if you ever need help again, look me up. I work over in the general store down the road. I've been working there for about 10 years now.
Just gonna keep pulling and walking.
Good.
It's
And as you walk away, you hear just like, okay, bye. It was good to meet you.
As we start to walk away, I'm gonna lean down, because obviously I'm tall as fuck. I'm gonna lean down towards Amarasi and be like, "Listen, you need to pay attention. You are now a target. Be wary." As we round a corner, I'm just gonna kind of break off again.
Amarasi, what do
Emeraldi
you
Have
do?
you ever
just
met Maximus
stunned
before?
and confused, but he had someone get him out of that conversation, so he's like, "Yep." He just nods along and just like, "Yep, okay, sounds
This is
good.
clearly a friend.
Works for
I know.
me."
That's what I'm saying. Is like, if he's never met this person, that statement sounded so goddamn intimidating.
But also, this is the
You're a
person that
target
just
as this 7-foot dragonborn puts his arm around. You're like, ooh, lordy.
yeah, but this is the person that just got me out of a conversation that would have
Aw.
killed me. So
That's
worth it.
Fair.
solid friend. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that goes back to your statement. My life not as important as the gold. So.
So as Amarasi and Maximus depart from the chatterbox and then round the corner and split ways, Boss and Zamtrak. I assume, Boss, you're headed towards the tumbling tankard, right?
I forgot my name for a second. Yes.
No worries.
Yes. I was still expecting Zugzug. I apologize. Yeah, so heading that way, I guess well, like you said, Zemtrak, it doesn't hide, so, right? It's obvious he's hanging out.
Oh yeah, he's just trundling along behind, looking around.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Yeah, so we'll head that way, or, I guess he didn't technically give me a description, but from the previous RP, I knew it was in the general direction, or general right area. I just didn't know the name of the actual tavern, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You
So, yeah,
eventually.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
I was like, yeah, so just I head towards the low town.
All right. As you walk around the low town, you are walking down the streets. You recognize this area after you had departed from the Brook residence as one of the streets that you had walked earlier. And after a while of walking around, I'd say probably about 5-10 minutes, you see a sign for a bar that is called the Tumbling Tankard. And you see the sign hanging down from it. What had been drawn and you had interpreted as a two-headed horse is actually a tankard turned sideways and two things of wheat.
That's right. Okay, fair enough.
She's not good at drawing. She just does it.
Yeah, that's fine. While we're walking around, I'd like to also, well, Zemtrak, are you keeping an eye out? Like, kind of,
Yeah.
okay.
He's looking about, trying to make sure that there isn't anyone who's gonna
Okay.
jump us.
So, then not too worried that I should probably be doing the same. Before we go in, I guess I'll stop. Okay, because I'm trying to be more, trying to figure out my character still, like how I want to do this. But Zamtarak, right?
That's me.
I'm doing I think it's best for all of us, which helps me, that we have as much connection to this other expeditions. And as you heard, this appears to have the wife of one of those lost on the second expedition. Would you
Oh,
care for a drink?
always.
I knew I liked you already. And
He just smiled.
I head in, and to poke our head in and see. First, I obviously want to peruse to see if anyone is working that kind of fits the general description of. That's Leaflin, right? That's the husband. I forget the wife's
Leafin
name.
is the husband name. I don't believe you know the wife's name.
Yeah. But we know she works here, right?
Yep, and you know her last name is Brook.
Mhm.
As you walk in, you are immediately hit with the smell of stale ale that had been like spilled multiple times in this place, and just they did their best to clean it up, but it just never quite got completely cleaned out.
Yeah.
In particular, one rather grungy looking mat right at the door when you walk in. You look around and you see a rather slender looking, really skinny, basically just a stick, of a man with a kind of grungy looking mustache and goatee behind the bar, and then a female dragonborn who's walking around. And you see a couple of patrons, but not too many this early in the day.
Is the man
So-
behind the bar human?
Yes.
I look up at Zamtarak. Are you more of a bar or booth kind of minotaur?
I don't care. Anywhere I can fit, as long as I don't break the seats.
Fair. So I go up to I'll head towards the bar.
All right, you head to the bar, and the guy who's working behind the counter is wiping it down. It's not doing anything, but he's wiping it. And he's just like, "Right, what do you want?"
2 of your worst beverages.
You sure?
Yes.
All right.
Ah, the dirty bar rat coming right up.
Mm. This is actually something I do in real life too.
You see sort of the tray that was down that he like pours drinks on. He just picks that up, tilts it over, and pours it into a glass. And then he takes the glass and like is splitting it, looking to see if it's even. And he
Nice.
sets the 2 of them down. That'll be a copper.
I'll pay. Okay, I'll pay you. Yeah, I'll pay you more if we survive. So then I'll pick it up to the pail.
Zamtrak looks at the cup and looks at him and is like, with a look like, "Are you serious?" Okay. He picks it up and goes to basically cheers with him.
Hmm. Cheers,
And-
and do he'll Laura, well not Laura, boss will do his best to try to. I don't know how much was in there. I'm assuming like a shot ish.
Half a shot, well, about a shot per person.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So just kick it back.
He cheerses, he says in Minotaur, Slachava, and then clinks it on the table and drinks it.
Both of you make a Constitution.
Oh, I saw that coming.
Yeah.
Hey.
Just, it's not a difficult one, but it's difficult enough. You're kind of drinking some nasty stuff there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you can't do a Jersey Turnpike without fucking wrenching.
Holy shit, awesome.
I rolled terrible.
Oh no.
I got a 21. Oh no, boss.
Yeah. Well,
Boss,
like
as soon as the mix of whatever it was that was on that tray gets past your esophagus, the taste of it hits your tongue and your taste buds. And immediately you turn and empty it right back out of your
Deal.
gut.
all right.
Zamtarak, you're watching this happen. It's a little bit of a burn. It tastes terrible, but you've had worse.
No, I've had worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sets the cup back down.
So yeah, after I guess vomiting and then dry heaving, I'll
Sometimes just like, would you like to have the best drink in the house?
yeah, I'll wipe my mouth off and I'll look up and be like, tastes just like home. uh,
The guy who's working behind the bar is like annoyed already. He's just like, that's what you get cheering to the pail.
so, but to now that like I said, and to my word though, I'll pay more, and I reach into the bag of now 50 gold. I guess 49 technically.
Yep.
And I'll put it on the table. So wait, it's gold. How much? What are we doing this? 100 silver, 1 gold. 100 silver, 1 copper.
So 10 silver to 1
Pounds.
gold.
Okay, 10 silver. So then, okay, so basically a gold is 100 copper.
Yes.
Okay, so I flap it crack it on the table, and I slide it over with 2 fingers on it. Um, for the drink and the inconvenience, but also a question.
I would like to sleight of hand that gold and
What?
replace it. Zomtrock's literally going to, like, as he's sliding a piece of gold to this guy, Zomtrock puts his hand down on it, reaches into his chest, and pulls out his silver and puts it down. Like, maybe not here.
Boss, are you going to resist that?
Is it obvious? Like we're talking, sleight of hand is in this. Well, I guess it's pretty out there, so the bartender would see it.
Possibly.
Yes, so
let me
really sleight of hand.
real quickly see.
Zomtrock's just looking around at this seedy, rough bar and is like, maybe flashing gold, bad idea.
So boss, are you going to resist Zemtrok trying to swap out the gold for the silver?
Yes, not like swat his hand away, but more like I guess we're gonna kind of like keep our hands there together, and I'm kind of trying to figure out why he's doing this.
In that case, Zemtrok make a sleight of hand check, and boss do a dexterity saving throw.
I smell romance in the air. They're
I
already
know. I was
holding
like,
hands.
are we falling in love right now? Is this?
Sometimes when we touch. So I got a 6. He's just like, thud, reaches clearly into his shirt, pulls out a silver, puts it down, and starts pushing it forward under his
So-
own hand. Like,
Despite how muscular you are, it's kind of hard given boss's smaller hand and how he's covering the gold piece for you to be able to slide the silver underneath and swap it out, and you just can't manage it. Meanwhile, the bartender is just like, look, if you need a room, we can get one for you.
Well, and I look up at him as so it's also like, can I give I guess I'm not. Can I? I was like, I'll give Zemtrock like a questioning look, just because still trying to like play out like what he's like or suss out what he's trying to do. But
we don't
while
want to look rich.
appreciated, it's like even it's like while how do I want to say this? While appreciated, I might need longer than an hour before we get a room. This is more for the information.
Ah, okay. He just takes a silver back.
What information?
I'm looking for Brooke.
Ah, falling for the barmaiden, have you?
I've heard tales.
I'm afraid she's married. She won't see no man. Not less it's leafing.
Just looking for a conversation.
Conversation.
And he just kind of glances over at Zamtrock and then back at you.
Zomtrock's looking at him like, oh, conversation, yeah.
Well, hand me that there gold and I'll tell you.
I take my fingers off it.
He scoops it up.
She's not here.
Okay. So when we walked in, the people in there, are they seedy looking?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
How many of
So-
them are looking at us now?
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah,
Good,
the
good.
barman
Hey.
was like, hand me that gold and I'll tell you. And they're all like, what?
That's right. So I say this loud enough to so everyone can hear. I pay you 20 gold pieces for information, and now you take it from me, and you've pocketed yourself. All I needed was just help. I can't believe you would steal all my money and try to keep it for yourself. Very obnoxiously loud.
The barman just kind of leans forward and like, I gave you what you wanted. You wanted to know where she was? She's not here.
So where is she?
But if you are offering up 20 gold, I'll gladly take it off your hands, the other 19. Now,
Same.
the other patrons are kind of glancing over in your guys' way.
Okay, actually, I want to. I'll turn around and look at everybody, and in there, and I'll speak in thieves' cant.
Hmm.
The barman and I are playing a game. I need information on a woman named Brooke who lives here. He's taking my money and being difficult. If you hear this and understand it, you know what it means for both of us. Well, we both know what it means. I'd rather pay you and get reliable information than continue to play this game.
Meanwhile, Zom is looking at him and like the hand gestures / body language is just like, are are you all right, boss? Are you having like a seizure or something? Or did that drink really hit you?
Meanwhile, from down the bar, you hear, that ain't no seizure like I've seen. And man, who's got his sort of collar up a little bit to kind of like block a little bit of the mouth, but you see the eyes, green eyes peering out over it, and you see a gold coin show up in his hands. Almost like a magician, the way he like flicks it out. That's one of the ones from the crown. Best not to be flashing this about. He puts it away, and then he says, and thieves can't. Arissa's out at the market, getting ingredients for tonight.
And thieves can't. Maybe the point of flashing it is to draw attention. When you said the name, wait, Marissa? Or, sorry,
Arissa.
Arissa. Would I have a better chance meeting her here or finding her at the market?
Not likely to find her not likely to find her here tonight. If you're looking to find her soon, your best chance is the market. And it wasn't the gold I was after. A little gold and a little information is a better trade for information. And he pockets the gold.
I look up at Zamtarak. Sorry. Sorry, Zam. Because we're best friends now.
I guess.
Sorry, Zam. It seems we missed the person I was looking for.
Ah.
And because everyone is also probably eyeballing us with all the gold, which is, like I said, half the point. How about this? And then, how many people are there?
Aside from the gentleman who you were just talking to, 2 others.
2 others. I take out 2 more gold pieces and I flick them both to each. Drinks on me. And I make my way out.
Yeah, before you leave there. He slides over a folded piece of paper. For being such a good customer.
Is that the barman or the weird green-eyed guy?
That's the weird green-eyed guy. Who, I don't know if you caught, had the gold piece that the barman was given.
Yeah.
I open up the piece of paper.
what you see is a sketch, fairly hastily, but enough of like some of the prominent facial features and stuff that you would be able to identify the person. Woman, darker skinned, dark hair, sort of vibrancy in her eyes.
Mhm.
Very full of life.
Perfect. It's always pleasure doing good business. Oh, this is okay. I should also say this in Thieves Can't. Always a pleasure doing business with a good thief.
And he raises his glass. Sancha. And then the other two patrons and the bartender also raise their glasses and say the same, all in Thieves Can't.
Very nice.
I don't think I want to drink anything else here.
And the only thing you did drink wasn't something you really wanted to drink, probably.
Yeah,
right. Lowtown. I love it. And then
All
I
right.
guess we'll make our way to market. Or
All right.
I will. I'm not sure what. I don't want to speak for Xandrak.
Zom's gonna follow you out because he's not friggin' staying here. The fact that they all spoke they spoke some form of Minotaur was like, oh, I don't know. I'm sus. This is sus. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
All right, you both leave then and depart for the market. We are currently at just about 2 hours, so we're going to go ahead and do a little 20-minute intermission, and then we'll come
Cool.
back.
All right.
Welcome back. So when we left off, Amarasi and Maximus were separate but together, making their way towards the alchemist store. And Boss and Zamtarok were making their way to the market. So, picking up with Amarasi. So you are making your way now into the medical district of the market area. And you're looking around. Make a investigation check. And
Sure, you give him that one.
I was just
I was
about
like,
to say,
finally.
if you'd let me,
Sorry.
if you would let
I'm
me
sorry,
DM.
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
It's not even it.
I'm sorry. I thought I was the DM here.
Oh.
If you would like
smite
to,
you, I swear to God.
since you also know what he's looking for, you can also perform a investigation.
Investigation.
My
Nice.
investigation was a 3, so
I got a 13.
Ooh.
Investigation 3. You found the market.
That's right. You see people. Ooh.
Amarasi, them's definitely buildings. Those are the most like buildingest buildings that you've ever seen. As far as
okay.
as far as which one is the one you're looking for, you haven't got the slightest clue. However, Maximus has seen a couple of things that he sees a few people walking out of one building in particular with pouches that are filled with medicines.
How crowded is this area?
Average. It's not super crowded.
So crowded enough that if I tried to whistle to get his attention to point, it would be hard to do, but not crowded enough that I can't still see. Oh my God. Name left me.
You'll get it.
The
Amarasi?
guy I'm following. Thank you.
I'm a
You're
rat.
welcome.
Jesus. That was painful.
Yeah.
Amarasi.
Don't worry. That low level of judgment is just simmering now.
I earned it.
I find your lack of remembering my character name disturbing.
Yeah, well. Just like my belief in the Force. It's very lacking.
He altered the deal. Pray he does not alter it further.
So, it is the street is empty enough that you can very easily pick out Amarasi by himself walking. There's like not a whole lot of people around him. Imagine like walking down the street on New York and it's not like peak hours. There's people, but you're not like bumping into people constantly. Like there's just a regular flow to it.
Pretty much downtown of any college town at 9 p.m. People ain't at the bars yet, but they're about.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. So I'm gonna, again, not trying to give away the fact that I'm like watching over Amarisu. I'm going to definitely kind of make my presence known as I walk round about him, enough that he could see, because he's seen me, knows what I look like, and then just kind of make my way towards the alchemist shop to guide him, if you will.
Sorry, couldn't.
I know it's
you're
totally
fine.
out of character, but him not getting Amarasi's name right would be a fantastic like in-game joke throughout the rest of the
Yeah.
campaign. Amarasu, Ramsey, Barbara Streisand. You're like, what?
Amaterasu or whatever your name is.
Just
Something,
I'm
something,
terrible.
something.
I know.
It's an avocado.
It's a free
Thanks.
shavakadu.
Free Shavakadu.
All right, so you
Just call him Artificer for the rest of the game. Artificer. That's you.
Brain boy.
It's the Dumbing Thick Artificer.
Oh,
That's my title. I worked for 2 years to get Dummy Thick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't mean to put no respect on your name.
I guess that makes me the Himbo Paladin.
probably.
We
Yeah.
do love a good himbo in these campaigns.
Yeah, we do.
A himbo is a must. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. All right, so Maximus, you catch up to Amarasi. What do you do?
I explained what I was going to do. I'm not there to catch up and like guide him. I'm trying to definitely make myself seen so that he knows where to look. Hopefully he catches my drift, because I'm watching for predators. I'm not
Right.
watching for him. So if I can at least guide him to where he needs to go so we can kind of, hurry this up so we're not so much in the open. That'd be
Amarasi,
great.
roll me perception.
Say,
Okay.
isn't it nice to your new?
I got a 12.
Ooh boy, your new campaign buddy is using you as bait.
Yeah, pretty much.
You recognize a familiar face,
Oh, lovely.
more or less guiding you towards the building that people are walking out of with medicine pouches.
Interesting. Amarasi like walks over and looks at him, and then looks at the shop, and then looks back at him and says, "Wait. Where did we meet again?"
Mm, mm. Love it.
Can I do another perception or investigation, whichever you deem, to see if there's anybody still paying attention to him?
I'll let you use either in this particular one.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use investigation because it's higher. And thank God, because I rolled a 16. I'm kidding. 19 total.
So you do not see the two people that were paying attention earlier.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to be anybody else who's paying any undue attention to you two.
Okay, fair enough.
However,
then I'm
between the
gonna-
two of you,
Oop.
the one that is drawing perhaps a touch more attention is a one-winged dragonborn.
No, that makes sense. That's the best part. Again, leaning down, be like, we're in the same expedition.
Right. The expedition. Yes.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you. You're looking for the alchemist. And he's gonna point over his shoulder and be like, this is the place you need to go. I'm trying to save you.
Well, with a intro like that, I definitely can trust you.
Good. Now go do your thing.
He just walks into the alchemy store.
All right. You walk in, and immediately you're greeted by a
Sorry.
older guy with a long, narrow beard, small rounded glasses at the end of his nose, just like,
Ah, yes, how can I help you?
Do you sell?
Yes.
Wait. What did you think I was gonna ask?
What were you going to ask?
Do you sell any alchemical books?
Alchemical books.
Specifically, if possible, relating to the New World.
To the New World. No. Are you an idiot?
I was just curious if anyone has studied it before.
Oh, damn. I was hoping you were an idiot. I could at least solve that with a potion. That's a joke, by the way. I can't cure idiocy.
Your jokes aren't very good, sir.
Yeah. The music is a bit up there.
yeah, sorting.
That's
it
all
right
I
now.
can think of. Oh god. Emerasi is just totally dumbfounded by this conversation, 100%. And he just looks through and asks, do you have anything for identifying plants specifically? Like, I need something that can more or less help me identify if something is poisonous or not. I can typically do it myself, but it's easier if it's pre-prepared.
Well, I mean, I could show you the process. It's fairly simple.
Yes. I know the process.
Because what you're asking for is something to identify plants, and that requires careful analysis. Are you expecting to put a plant into a vial, shake it up, and boom, shalada? You got an answer?
Well, specifically for toxins, I was hoping someone would have some formula for detecting most common toxins found in plants.
What you're looking for is the church down the road. The paladins there can detect poisons. My boy, what you need is a paladin and not an alchemist.
I will head that way now. And he just turns around, leaves, and immediately is like, yep, I'm done with this area now.
Oh god.
Maximus, you see Amarasi walk out of it like
Oh, yeah.
less than a couple minutes after walking in.
Like, did you get everything you need?
Well, they didn't have anything I needed, but I was asking for the alchemical feat of the century, probably. But, you know, disappointing.
deal.
No big deal at all.
Well,
Knowledge on all the plants in the New World and a way to detect poison. Yeah.
Or a
you
way
risk-
to detect common poisons. You think somebody would have like a little strip test for like, you know, you skin it against the plant and it can tell you if it's like got this common poison. Clearly,
it
all
on
the
your tongue.
alchemists in this world are dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, there's one really good way to
Yeah.
test for poisons. Just have someone eat it and then watch them.
Well, you test it on your tongue, and if you don't immediately throw up, you chew it, and if you don't immediately throw up, you swallow a tiny bit, and if you don't immediately throw up, you're like, let's wait an hour, and then if you don't immediately throw up, it's like, this is probably not poison.
And before any of that, you like test it by rubbing a little bit of it on the back of your hand to see if it causes a reaction.
Yes. Note to self: when preparing foods, put random plants you find in everyone's bowl so that they all test one specific plant.
See? That's smart. See, now we're using the scientific method.
Process of
This is
elimination
why
right
Zomtrot
there.
cooks his own food. What are you putting in everyone's food there, buddy? Oh, don't worry about it. Just spices. Yeah, right.
Plants?
Cilantro. This is
Plants?
cilantro. And if you don't like cilantro, then it's another herb that's like cilantro, except nothing like cilantro, because you don't like
Hold
cilantro,
on.
right?
Am I gonna be
Everything's
part of
Parsley?
that 50% that doesn't know how to, or that can't take or taste cilantro properly?
Mm.
As in, you don't
Hey.
like it, or
No,
you do
so
like it?
apparently, like off topic, but apparently 50% of the population it tastes like soap. The other 50% it tastes like it's supposed to.
Wait, it
And
has a
it's a
taste
genetic.
besides soap?
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
well,
a
this is that
For
there's a
people,
genetic. Yeah,
for people who
there's a
could taste it
genetic thing.
right, yeah.
So it's genetics. It's got nothing to do with your preference.
Wild. And also, I feel like we almost missed an opportunity, so I got to say it. He's like, what do you put in? What do you put it into our food? Cayenne pepper.
Cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
You're like, what? You're like,
Thank
"Don't worry
God
about
you
it."
guys actually have a cook this time around.
That's right.
taste it. No, actually, it's soap. Puts it in
Not
the
a
food anyway.
That's right.
not a tasteless fucking.
That's right. A
workhorse.
robot who can't taste. Okay, sorry, we got off
Anyways,
topic.
yeah, we
Oh,
do.
it's all good.
But yeah, Maximus is definitely going to just shrug his shoulders, look down, go, fine. Where are we going next?
I was stuck on the soap part of that.
Okay.
That you were asking that to Amarasi, right?
Yes.
Amarasi just shrugs and says, "Well, everywhere I've tried to go to has clearly been a bust, so I'll just let you take the lead on this one."
I don't quite know what you need. True.
Just, there's nothing else I require at this time.
Well,
Thank
do
you.
you have an inn that you're staying at?
I do not.
Then you'll stay with me. Come down to the harbor.
Oh, I normally see about sleeping on the roofs, but this sounds much more comfy.
Mm.
Oh,
So I'm gonna kind of start leading him towards the harbor.
Amarasi just idly follows well in his notebooks.
So switching over to Boss and Zumtrok. Excuse me.
Hello.
You both have now entered into the market area. Are you looking for anything besides Orisa, or are you trying to look like you're looking for anything aside from Orisa?
Sam's looking for someone who might sell pipes or smoking elements.
Okay.
I want to share the picture that was hastily drawn with Zam. Zam.
Yes.
It
So-
seems we might part ways for a moment. If you see this person,
Mm-hmm.
this is who I'm looking for.
Okay. Is there anywhere that we need to meet back up?
Yeah, so I guess if we look around, is there a central location, anything that stands out?
So in front of you is the markets, all the different stalls, sort of like a bazaar. Behind you is more like the town square where there's a fountain.
All right, yeah, so fountain, say half an hour.
Zam nods, looks up at the sun, and goes, "All right."
Jesus. My man can actually read the sun. Yeah, that makes sense. Perfect. And so then I will start to kind of meander about, seeing if I can find Orisa.
All right. So you start meandering around. Roll me a investigation.
Cool. I don't think this is one of my good ones. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I got the achievement. First one.
Oh no.
Achievement get.
You see someone that looks exactly like her,
Okay.
and she just ducked behind one of the stalls and went down an alleyway.
Okay. Well, I guess we're following.
All right, you follow.
I'd like to say out of character, probably not a good idea, but in character, well, I think I see him. Fuck it.
Yep.
Okay, so they ducked and went into, okay. Do they seem to be in a hurrying motion, or?
Regular pace.
Okay. Then I, follow.
All right. And she goes down the alleyway and then makes a turn at the corner. And you see a couple of guys that were sitting in the alleyway, kind of in the corner, chatting. Look over at her, and then one nods, and two start walking behind at a healthy distance.
Yeah. And so, so now they're between me and her.
Yeah, following her.
Yeah.
While that's happening, Zamdrak,
Yeah.
you're kind of like perusing through the markets looking for what you're looking for. You're looking around, you're seeing some things that maybe could be okay, like some wood carvings, but they're not of high quality. You're going down through the markets, and then something catches your eye down one of the roads. It is a stall that is selling some smoking utensils that are from some of the further lands. Also claiming to have some that are from tobacco and also like items for smoking that are from Palteria, Volm, Dresdov, all across the continent.
Ooh.
So you find that.
Great. He's gonna definitely check out that shop.
All right, and you start browsing. As he makes his way over, boss, what are you doing?
So I guess obviously seeing these two people start following who I'm trying to follow. I'll keep pace, basically keeping the same distance
Mhm.
from them that they are from her. And well, I get okay. So actually, I'll try to get closer quietly, so stealthily. Not right on top of them, but I want to start closing the distance. So I can.
Make a stealth roll for me.
Okay. Boss. Well, hey, you know what? I'm glad I was able to roll the first one. It makes me feel good.
Yeah. You are not seen by the two guys that are following behind Irissa.
Can I hear anything that they're saying, or their body? Excuse me, the body language intent enough? We all know what's going on.
You make an insight check for me.
Woo!
Whoa.
And the first 20.
Nice.
Um,
Hit both sides of that spectrum.
you can tell that there's some ill intent at play.
Okay.
These two, you see them really creeping on her.
All right. So I'll continue to get closer, but still follow at a pace, but not intervene as of yet.
Make a perception check for me.
Okie dokie. It's like ping pong, ping pong.
Yep.
Average.
Also, can we just appreciate that you rolled a nat 1 and then 2 rolls later, a nat 20?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah.
Anyways. So you continue to follow them at a fairly healthy distance. Closing the gap somewhat, staying hidden, but not getting right up behind them immediately.
Mm.
Zamtarok,
Yes, sir.
you arrive up at the stall, and you see an older lady that's working behind, smoking away at this rather interesting looking. It looks like a pipe, but it's metal. It's got a spout out of it, but you notice that the smoke is sort of dissipating different than a pipe smoke would.
Curious.
And she sees you walk up, and she's just like,
Oh, what are we looking for today?
Does this look kind of like the picture I sent you?
Yeah.
Yeah. He points at what she's smoking from and goes, "Oh, definitely something like that. That looks pretty interesting. It smokes tobacco out of it."
Oh, tobacco. Arcacra, what you call it? And, anything else you want, really.
Grand. Is it like a water pipe?
A bit, yeah.
Oh, do you have one for sale?
Normally I keep these more for, like, the higher paying customers, but let me look.
and she starts rummaging through. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Mm, that is a 18.
All right.
Sweet.
You notice a man walk out of the alleyway to your left, followed by 2 men. The man, his hair kind of pulled back in like a ponytail, dark hair, olive skin. And the 2 men that are behind him are approaching quicker and quicker. You can tell that there's probably something about to go down.
Huh.
Boss.
Like huh.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So, are we? Are they gaining on this person?
Yep.
Okay. Here I'm gonna post then. And I still believe it's who I'm looking for.
Yep.
Gate.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm going to connect with the person I think is Arissa, and I is speaking into her head. Careful. It seems there are 2 men behind you who want to do you harm.
And you see the person that the 2 people are following kind of like pause for a second and then keep walking. And like kind of you see the back of their head kind of turning as they're like kind of looking up into the side. And then you hear a response just like, is this my conscience, man?
Shit, sorry.
If it was, hopefully it's helping you from being killed, or at best robbed.
Are you like an angel, man? And you see now as the ponytailed head turns, you see a little bit more scruff on the cheeks, in the chin.
There you go. You're like,
And he looks over the shoulder and kind of glances back and is just like, oh, you're totally right, man. There's 2 people right on me. Where are you?
currently making a mistake, it seems.
Aw.
You're helping me out, man. I can't say that that's a mistake, bro.
Oof. I guess this is a good choice. Oh shit! I gotta also. I'm sorry. I should have rolled a d6. Okay, so
Nice.
it's connected for 5 for 5 hours.
Yep.
Oh man.
Okay. Uh. Okay, so all he hears is someone say shit. And I'm going to still staying hidden. I'm going to try to impale one of these dudes' asses with a dagger just to kind of cause some confusion. Not truly injure them, but well, I mean, mildly injure them, but not kill them.
Make an attack roll.
All right. And is this a sneak attack since I'm hidden?
It is.
So it. Oh boy. I hope I don't accidentally. What am I doing?
That's by impalement and they bump.
In the buttock.
The ass
That's a
stab of
shattered hip.
doom.
Not today, Captain
Okay.
Dildo.
How does it?
Here comes the train.
Oh god.
There it is. Sorry.
Dr. Boss, colonoscopy expert.
Right up Main Street.
Right up Main Street. Jesus, where are you, Dex?
Oh,
Bitch.
damn, this is the best D&D session ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that hits. Roll damage.
Damn it, I don't want to roll
Uh-oh.
damage. Oh no.
Oh no!
Just one of
I
these
did a
guys
sneak attack and I'm a rogue.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So how much?
so much damage.
Yeah. So 1d6 plus 3 psychic damage plus what is a sneak attack? I'm still an extra 2d6. Okay. So well,
My god, a D6? Holy shit.
Mhm.
Hell of a dagger.
roll 1d6 plus 3.
Oh no.
Hey, there you go. Perfect.
Oh, that's at
I
least
love it.
decent. That's good.
And then 2
Two more.
d6s.
So that's 12
Oh.
altogether.
Oh no.
So you hear almost cartoonishly loud, just like, "Yow!" as this dude gets sodomized by a psychic dagger. As soon as that happens, the guy that they were following in front, and Zamtarok, you see this because you were just watching as he walked out into the street. He turns around and he's just like, yo, what the hell, man? Where are you following me? And the one dude runs off. The other dude is too busy, like, trying to, like, limp as his cheek is bleeding from a dagger that had stabbed into it.
Well, that doesn't look good.
I like how chilly is about this. He's like,
Like,
oof,
oh, that
rough.
sucks.
Yeah, that was a.
Zamtarak's gonna turn the old lady and be like, have you found one of those things yet?
Yeah, just,
And she holds one
you know,
out, and right as she holds it out, the other thug that was running away runs between you and the old lady and knocks it down, and it tumbles underneath another stall.
well, now I gotta kill him.
Oh, careful there, neighbor. And he's gonna reach down to grab the thing.
All right,
Mm.
and the dude takes off into the crowd. The other one still limping away, while the dude that was being followed is just like, "So what? You think you're just gonna like sneak up on me, man? Is that what you're gonna do?" Like, no, hell no, dude. And he starts yelling for a guard. Boss, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, okay. Now that so I'm just going to casually walk out of the. I guess now that the scene's being created, I'm like, oh hey, Zom, how you doing?
Oh. Um. Some looks from boss, the guy limping, the other dude who's yelling, and is just like, "Oh, that doesn't look good. Was that you?" Like quietly.
You know, you'd be surprised the things that happen inside alleyways.
I would. He's just looking at the guy who's limping and bleeding out of his behind, and is like looks at boss and is just like, "I see."
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna
So-
go start looking around again.
Yeah, yeah. You didn't need that back, did you?
Yes. No. No.
Oh,
You guys
okay,
are
bye.
just really all about the flirting.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It's like, hey.
As you hand the what looks like a pipe back
What
over
looks
to the
like-
old lady. It's got a couple of dents now from getting knocked on the ground, and she's just like,
Oh, dear. Well, considering how nice you've been and considering it's a little damaged up, I'll knock a little off the price for you if you want it.
Oh, absolutely. I don't mind something that's a little beat up. I'm a little beat up. Do you have
Alright.
tobacco to go with it?
Aren't we all?
Time and age make fools of everyone.
Mm.
A little fooling around makes one wise in the old age.
He just kind of chuckles. Is like, so how much for the pipe and say a small bag of tobacco?
2 silvers.
He hands her 3 silver and says, "Keep the change."
I don't know if you're gonna resist. She's gonna reach up and pinch your like minotaur cheek,
No.
and she's like,
Oh, such a nice young man.
Absolutely. Someone
And-
has to be the light here.
coughs a little bit as a cloud comes out.
I
God
was
damn it,
thinking
Zom
more
is
like
so
a
cool.
like
He's
a
just
granny
hey.
pinch, just like you're so cute.
Yeah.
And after he pays, he's going to take the tobacco and the pipe, turn, and round on the guy who's like limping
Oh Jesus.
and wander over towards him like, "Are you all right, neighbor? You look like something happened back there."
He is like now on the ground, just like
Oh my.
And
Are you okay there?
while he's doing that also, the other guy who's been yelling for a guard is just like, so what, you're just gonna keep on following me? Is that what it is, man?
Uh,
You're disgusting, man. You're disgusting.
I think this guy's dying. It looks like he is bleeding from his behind. And Zom's gonna look down, see the dagger, and basically sort of, I mean, he's 7 feet tall and 375 pounds, so he kind of covers the guy by sort of kneeling, I guess, over him since he's on the ground, and yanks the dagger out.
And as you do that, the guy like screams out in pain as you pull that out. He's
also,
not.
It probably dematerializes.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Nice psychic dagger.
My
Uh,
goodness, you're very badly injured down here.
Yeah, no, other dude doesn't see that. He's still too busy just.
I like, bro. I can't believe it, bro.
And one of the guards is now, with all the commotion, walked up and is just
He
like,
turns to the ponytail guy and goes, "Did you stab this guy in the butt?"
no, I didn't do anything, man. It was my guardian angel, I swear, dude.
He's bleeding out of his ass. You stabbed him in the butt.
God works in mysterious ways, man.
And then he turns to the guard and is like, I think this man stabbed this guy in the ass. Look at him. He's bleeding on the ground.
Damn.
And the guard immediately takes the guy who's on the ground, calls for another guard to come and take the other dude. And the dude's like, dude, I can't. I gotta get home, man.
Does the man on the ground need healing? I am a paladin.
And the guard looks at it. Let me see.
It's like I'm only very badly burned.
The guard who helps the dude up looks and is just like, I don't know.
Oh, well, all right then. I mean,
I mean, if you want to.
I'm a guard, not a medic. Fuck.
hold on. I need to roll a decision.
Nice.
While you're doing that, boss, you hear in your
Nope.
mind, Mr. Guardian Angel, I don't know if you could like help or anything, but I think the guards think that I stabbed that guy in the butt when you did it. Like, could you help me out here, man?
Jesus Christ.
Oh no! You can't stop hearing this guy if he's within a mile of you. I
That's
just
right. I was like, yeah.
You have bro dude in your head for 5 hours.
I do until just
This is now your albatross.
yeah. Can he just hear one long like sigh? Just
Yep. Yep. You psionically sigh at him. Like, please, Mr. Guardian Angel dude, like my wife's gonna be super pissed if I'm not home, man. I know you were just trying to like protect me and stuff, but like now I'm kind of in a tight situation here, man.
So the guy who how long has this been, you think, since we exited the
It's been like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Damn. Just saying.
It has
'cause
not been long.
No, yeah, it's like if the second guy who's going to mug him, he he's not still within sight, is he?
Make a investigation check.
Hey.
You see that he is running towards the medical district.
Okay, so and I'm still kind of in the middle of the. He's running, right? So he's still
Yeah.
kind of like, okay.
He's running. He's just pushed out of a group of like people and is now taking off down an empty street, mostly empty, save for two people who are walking away from the medical district. A one-winged dragonborn and a human.
Jesus. Okay. Am I near any stalls?
Oh yeah, there's tons around you.
Okay. Are there any jewelry, anything worth of high value?
I'm gonna say do another investigation to see.
Okay. Like if not, then the plan still works. It just investigation. Weep.
So as soon as you go to investigate, you're immediately distracted by, "Are you still there, Mr. Angel Man?"
Jesus. Okay, great. So
Not used to having more than one voice in your head when you're not wanting it.
That's true. That's fair. I'm usually the one talking in people's heads.
Yep.
Okay, so I just look to the nearest stall, and what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to basically sleight of hand steal something and then start shouting, "Thief! Thief! Thief! He stole your blank, whatever I steal, like bread or I don't particular. Like I said, it doesn't particularly matter. I was going for jewelry because it's expensive and people
Yeah.
care more about expensive things.
Do a sleight of hand for me.
Jesus Christ.
with the voice that's going in your head right now of Mr. Broman, along with the fact that you're like just distracted, you're trying to get something going. You reach over and you grab and you put it into your pocket and you're just like, thief, he stole your... And you feel a sudden wetness in your pocket and you look over and you see it's a basket of eggs.
Great. Okay, so I might not have stolen it very well, but am I at least convincing people that there's a thievery going on and he's running away?
Make a performance check for me as well.
Oh,
Let's...
Jesus. Maybe the
You have
performance will
gained
make-
attention. That has
Yes.
happened.
Okay. Ooh.
Also, Amarasi and Maximus make a perception check for me.
Ooh, 15. I'll take it.
For me, 3.
Same.
So you both notice a little bit of a murmur that's happening in the crowd ahead of you, and you see somebody running. That's all you see. You don't get much else aside from that. Boss, you do successfully get everyone to pay attention to you, and then people start looking around for the person you're pointing at, and then finally, after a couple of seconds, some people start to kind of catch on to the person that's running away, and they start shouting and they start pointing.
And while that's happening, I'm going to round up to, as everyone's starting the commotion, starting to mix up, I'm going to run to the guard with my bromance, and be like, guard, he's stealing their wares. Help us.
And the guard just like sighs and like, this is not what I signed up for today.
Dude, we see this man like running right at us as this commotion's going on.
You do
Like,
now
they're
see this
starting to-
person. This person has just passed you. Just now passed you.
Okay.
So do the guards start making their way?
Because you ran up saying that they stole, right?
Yeah, I was like, thief, thief, like they stole this merchant's wares. Help us, kind of thing.
And one of the guard make a persuasion check. And Amarasi and Maximus make another perception check.
All right, I'm gonna roll this one in roll 20 this time.
I believe in you, Dice. I got another 3.
Oh my god.
I am just all over the place today. I gotta admit.
So
Well,
right as you're like partway
Yes!
through saying, nice. Maximus, are you gonna attempt to like catch the person as you're like putting the
100%.
pieces together? Cool. Make a grappling a strength check with advantage.
Cool.
And Amarasi, if you wind up getting good enough on the perception, I will allow you to help him. Boss?
I rolled
Oh.
my dice and got a 3, so I'm
Cool. You
gonna
you
guess
do
not.
not get to help.
Oh my god.
Boss, halfway through
my persuasion.
you saying that person stole that merchant's wares.
Mhm.
Halfway through you saying this, and you see Mr. Bro Dude like close his eyes and start like praying, and you hear in your voice like, please, Mr. Angel Dude, like, if you could just help me out again, I'm sorry to ask for help again. And that throws you off mid-sentence, and you say, that thief stole that underwears? And as you also are pointing, a little bit of egg yolk drips off of your hand. And one of the guards looks confused, looks at the hand, looks at the stall that you're pointing at, and sees that it's just like produce and eggs. And he's just like, look, I hate to say it, we got bigger fish to fry, right? We got somebody who just stabbed someone. Maximus, you get good enough of a grip to stop him in his tracks. You catch just the back of his cloak as he passes by.
Okay. As I like snag him a look at uh, Amarisu. Jesus Christ.
Amarasi?
It's like brethren all over again.
Phylactery.
Fuck you.
I'm just gonna start speaking in the third person every single
No,
time.
it's not that. I literally looked right at it. Looked dead at your name and put a U at the end instead of an I. I don't know why.
Actually, I think
I'll respond to that,
Amarasu
you know?
is an actual name.
Yeah,
Okay.
Amaterasu.
Yeah, Japanese.
Anyways, I'm going to. You know what? I'm just gonna call him Ama. Fuck. I'm dumb. Anyways, we'll look at him and be like, don't move. As I like grip harder and pull the guy that was running back towards me and go, where are you going, son? Nowhere fast, it seems.
He's looking up at you. And he's like sweating. He's got like a wild look in his eye. He's like, something stabbed one of my friends in the ass.
Well, for a man running so fast, you know, it's okay nowadays. Just be a little bit more careful. You need to go apologize to him. As I kind of start to attempt to like drag him towards the guards.
Make a strength
Standing
check.
still.
Okay. Hopefully this doesn't be me again. What is okay? 11 total.
You feel the cloak start to slip out of your fingers. And you wrap your hand around and grab even tighter and pull him closer now. And you're now starting to drag him. By the way, he rolled a 10.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. So
Just
you're now
keep rolling
dragging
off
him. What are you going to do with... Just drag him over to the guards?
Yeah.
All right.
And
So
if he resists me again, I'm going to kind of start to unfurl my wing and try to intimidate him. So
Okay. Well, he's definitely resisting.
okay. So as we're like making our way, and I'm trying to like bring him towards the guard. As I said, I'm gonna unfurl the ring and be like, "Do you know who I am in these parts? Do you know how many people I've killed for pettier things?"
Make a intimidation check with advantage.
Yeah, baby.
Amarasi, while he's doing that, what are you doing?
This man told me to stand still, so I'm just literally sitting there watching this whole thing unfold.
That's an 18 total.
An 18 total?
Yep.
Yeah, this dude is
You
scared
rolled a 20,
shitless.
didn't you? Okay. I was like, you rolled a 20, didn't you?
Yes. No. Remove the 0.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, as I
he
see
is... He's
the
now
fear
compliant.
and panic. Yeah, I was like, the fear and panic rolls over him. Be like, good. You understand what death could possibly look like. Now make it easy for us.
Jesus.
Zamtarok and Boss, you both see Maximus making his way through the crowd with the other thug that had gotten away.
Oh, it's the thief. Good move, Maximus. You grabbed him.
Yeah, kind of bumped into.
And one of the guards sees the guy with the like sort of like a mix of just sheer fear at watching his friend get stabbed in the ass, and also with having just been intimidated and sort of just like a resigning himself to his fate.
to a certain degree. And the guards look at him and then look at Maximus and then look over at Boss with the egg still on the hand. And they're just like, fine then, we'll take him too. Boss, you hear in your head, like, I think they're gonna take me away, man. Can you, like... I'm sorry to keep asking.
Sorry, I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, no
what I wanna
worries.
do. I'm like,
Yeah, I was gonna say, if
Mm.
anything, I'm gonna signal over and just tell. Okay, I can do it. I'm a Rossi. Yeah, nailed it.
Yay!
Slow down.
I don't know if I
Yay!
call that nailed it, but you got
Hey,
there.
fuck you.
Good enough.
Anyways, I'm gonna be like, I'm Rossi. Come on.
Emeralcy is just in like lust puppy mode right now, so he's following instructions, listening pretty well.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Oh god, what have I set myself up for?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna take my hand. Where? How far away is dear guard? I was like, Sir Guard. How far away is the jailhouse from here?
It's back behind the town hall. So if you imagine it was about a 15-20 minute walk to the market, it's about 15-20 minutes.
Thank you. All right. Good luck. And I will get back to looking for Arissa because in a mile, he's not my fucking problem anymore.
You hear Mr. Broman talking to you for a good, 15-20 minutes. Actually, closer to 20, because the guards are dragging a dude who got stabbed in the butt, as well as an egg thief, as well as Mr. Bro Dude. And you hear for 20 minutes just nonstop begging and pleading for you to do something. So what do you all do now?
Well, it seems we've all maxed up. I guess we could go to an inn and come back in the
Yeah.
morning to the town hall. Do you all have an inn?
I have one. I'm at this screeching or no, shimmering siren. You'll have to remember it eventually.
Oh, is that down by the harbor?
Screeching siren.
Yeah, almost. I was thinking about my dog. So
Is that your nickname for your dog?
The screeching
The
siren.
Screeching sirens here. Yes, right.
So do you all then depart the market to head towards the tavern?
I'm still looking for Arissa. 'cause
I'm
that's
definitely just going to the tavern.
Cool. All of you make a perception check for me.
Oh no.
okay. I got an 11.
Perception, beep.
Wow, that's a 19. Wow,
Finally,
that's
Jesus. It's
that's
one or
21.
the other. Just
Sweet.
ooh.
You, for those of you that rolled, Zamtrok, what did you roll again?
I got a 21.
A 21? Okay, so
21 total.
you, Amarasi, and Boss see something kind of down the street as you're about to leave. It's a kid weaving back and forth between. And then all of a sudden, you see a woman that's chasing behind her. Boss, you in particular recognize the girl that is running.
Is it the woman from the sketch?
And the woman that's chasing is the woman from the sketch that you two
Ah.
recognize.
Ah, okay. Then I'll head that way. Or
All right.
towards them.
Zom's gonna go that way too, and he's gonna tell Max, "I'll meet you down at the inn, I guess, in the harbor, I suppose."
Oh, well, okay. See y'all down there.
Great.
Okay, I believe you.
Right about at that point, the kid is reaching where you guys are at. And you
Zom's
hear
gonna
her mom calling, like, Adelaide, come back here.
Zom's gonna reach out and grab the kid.
All right, make a grappling check. It's going to be really,
Don't
really
roll
low
ones,
one.
please.
That's pretty much the only thing.
It's like, and kills the kid.
That's right. Oh yeah.
14.
Yeah. Just with one hand, you're able to scoop the kid up.
Whoop.
And at about the same time, Irissa reaches up to you all and, oh, thank you so much. She's always running off whenever we go into the market. Come here,
You
Adelaide.
should put a bell on her.
That's what
He
her father would always
hands-
say.
He hands the child to the woman and goes, "What he would say or what he does say?"
Oh, does, I hope.
Zom, like, his eyebrow raises and he looks at Boss and is like, Boss?
So, now that I guess he's handed the kid over, the boss is going to. I'm going to reach in and take out the drawing that she made and show it to the, the girl, or the young girl, and kind of wave hi at her, see if she recognizes me.
She's like, the kid is being like typical, like toddler, is shy, kind of like curled in and then like waves.
Hmm. My name. So is she like being held or kind of like by her mom's leg, kind of thing?
By the leg now.
Okay. So I'll hand back. I'll hand back the picture and say thank you, and I'll stand up. Miss Arissa, my name is Boss, and I've been looking for you. It seems for a few days now. My friend, Zamtarok Stormfury, and myself are. We have been tasked to go on the third expedition, and I thought it best to touch base with as many individuals that had connections with the second expedition as possible. I It appears I
Maximus
came
and
by.
Amarasi, have you two already left at this point, or are you, since that was happening while you guys were still around, are you guys sticking around for the moment?
Probably sticking around. This is interesting.
Hey. Okay, so okay. That if you guys are around, that it's we did hear well, yeah, as I was eavesdropping, I heard everyone's names, right?
Mhm.
Mr. Zamtarok, Stormfury, Mr. Amarasi, and Mr. Maximus and I are tasked to go on the third expedition, and I thought it best to make connections with those who had dealings with the second. It appears I must have missed you. Your daughter drew me this picture and tried to tell me how to find you earlier.
Oh, I see. Well, if you want, I need to grab a few more things, and then I could host you over at my place for a small dinner. Please, if you're going to be going to the new continent, I'd like it very much.
Well, not to speak of the size of our party, and he means literal size of our party, as he gestures at these two giant boys. Hello. Just hello. Little hand wave. If you host, the least we could do is pay for our own food, since we would be gaining information from you.
It's decided then.
And she motions for you to keep walking with her as she goes to the market, gathering up ingredients and stuff like that.
How much would you want me to spend?
That depends. How much are each of you planning to eat?
A lot.
I'll just say I'm a half elf, so not too much.
Oh,
Emerasi
Armand,
is
not
like
hearing you
rail
for some
thin,
reason.
so
Sorry, I forgot I muted my mic so
No
there's no
worries.
background feed. I was gonna say a modest amount.
Modest amount. And then,
Zom eats a lot. He's gonna eat a lot.
okay. And Amarasi?
Emerasi is like rail thin, so he doesn't eat a lot.
So considering things are always cheaper when you're eating in,
Mhm.
I'm going to say that that's going to be a copper that would cover both Boss and Amarasi altogether. A whole copper for Maximus, and 2 coppers for Zamtarok.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Deal. So then we'll start it. Sorry, I gotta break down the math. Here we go. So 10. So,
Also,
okay. Dealsies.
give me just one moment real quick. Zemtrak, I'll let you decide between survival, intelligence, or history for using your cook's utensils if you want
Oh
to
yeah.
help pick some ingredients that will help make the meal even tastier.
Definitely gonna be survival.
All right, survival it is.
That's a 19 total.
Cool.
Damn.
As you're going through, you notice a root, not unlike what would be for us, kind of like parsnips. And you've seen the other things that Arissa has been picking up, just some basic, like poultry, just a little bit, not a lot, and some other vegetables. And you know that the sweetness of the parsnips will be a welcome addition if roasted off and added. And you advise her on that, and she takes your word for it, and you get some within the price that you're looking at. So you all finish shopping together with Arissa, and she takes you back to her modest, sort of like townhome, back over in the basically the slums, but in the less bad part of the slums. And as she brings you all inside, you see just a modest table. There's not quite enough chairs to seat everybody comfortably, but it's cozy enough. And she gets to work in the kitchen. What do you all do?
What is the child doing now that she's home?
She goes upstairs and then comes back down with some charcoal and tablet and starts just sort of sketching or drawing and doodling.
Oh, what are you drawing?
And she turns it around to you. Let me just real quickly. It looks kind of like a cow. And she points at you.
Oh yeah, you're a really good artist.
And she like kind of smiles, and then she goes back down to like doing stuff with charcoal and the slate. Amarasi, what are you doing?
Emerasi is kind of just looking around the household, but he's not really focusing on anything right now. just taking in the scenery.
Maximus?
I'm going. He's actually going to talk to her while she's cooking, and be like, "Ma'am, do you have any issues with security here at your home? Curiosity provided."
Well, being where we live, it's not always the safest, but Leafin taught me a few things before he left that I've been able to help keep us safe.
Hmm.
The first couple of times after he left, when people broke in, they found out he hadn't left much with us, just enough to get by. Not that we had much to give.
Have you had anything recently happen?
Hmm. Now, the last time was about 4 years ago now.
Fair enough. He's gonna look at Sam Tarok and nod and say, "Let me know when dinner's ready." He's gonna step out and patrol the area.
Okay.
Do we hear that conversation?
Maximus, was that conversation fairly loud? I'm guessing it
mean-
wasn't hushed.
Yeah, it wasn't hushed, but it wasn't like I'm shouting.
Yeah.
Right.
Given how small the area is, I'd say, yeah, it's very likely if you guys weren't distracted by anything in particular, you probably heard.
And she said that the last time that she saw her husband was 4 years ago?
5 years, so the last expedition, you guys all would pretty much know this. The last expedition left about 5 years ago. She said the last time that any sort of trouble happened was 4 years ago. So somebody breaking in to try to
Oh.
see if there was any of the gold from the crown that had been left.
Right. Zam's gonna walk over and ask her, if your husband left almost 5 years ago now, or 5 years, how have you been getting by?
I work as a barmaiden. I've been
And
doing it
you've been
ever since before she was born.
Oh. And you've been getting by all right?
We get by well enough.
Okay.
It's not always the best, but we do well enough. That's part of the reason why Leafin left for the New World.
Okay. So you only had trouble 4 years ago. Have you had any kind of trouble outside of your home since then?
Nothing more than the usual at a bar. A
Right.
few drunkards getting a little handsy. Then they find out why they call me Lefty.
Mm. Well, I'm sure if you can handle yourself, you can handle yourself then.
Well, that's why I pity any man that courts Adelaide one day. She comes from good stock.
Boss, what are you doing during this?
So, listening, obviously, but more also kind of scoping out the house. As you obviously, there's not much, but
Hmm.
anything that might look like it has sentimental and wear and tear on it. So something that would be, well, near and dear to the family's position.
Okay. Make a investigation check. So you start looking around and you see something. It's like a typical sort of like home where it's there's not a lot of stuff that's been bought, and most of anything that they have was made by them. So you know, some of the blankets that have been hand knitted. You're seeing the occasional wood carving. You do see one bit of stitch work, which has a little bit of burning on the edge of uh, of it, of a sunflower
Hmm.
that is on the wall.
Okay. Um, Zom, you're still in the middle of your conversation, right? You're not done
Basically,
talking.
yeah.
Okay. So then, I'll wait. I'll keep listening. I don't want to be rude and interject.
Sam's basically going to ask her for any information about um like what her husband did or what he was good at and or his sort of skill set, his name obviously, and maybe what he looks like.
Um, well, of course, now he's over in the Newlands, but before he left, Leafin always worked as a scout for the Crown. He would constantly be scouting out to the north of us to make sure that none of the people from Faldry ever tried to surprise
Right.
attack us. But his name's Leafin. He's a half elf. That's where Adelaide gets her slightly pointed ears.
Right. And his appearance, would any distinguished features, hair color, eye color?
He has longer hair, drawn back, darker.
And you see, like, as she's describing him, she's kind of smiling because of fond memories now.
Blue eyes, fairly well groomed. About normal, uh, normal frame for a half elf.
Right. About how tall?
Oh, not near as tall as you.
Right.
I'd say about a hand's width taller than me. I'd say.
And she's about like 5'9".
So he's like 5'10", 5'11"-ish.
Closer to like 5'11", 6 foot.
Okay. Is there anything that he would have on him that would distinguish him from anyone else? A ring, a necklace,
A
any
brooch.
kind of keepsake? A
A brooch.
brooch.
It was his mother's. It's a silver brooch in the shape of a leaf. Um, on the back of it, on the inside, there's an inscription that says to my beloved Leafin.
I see. Is it in common or elven?
In common.
Okay.
While this conversation is happening, Amarasi and Boss, you both doing anything?
Just listening in.
Um, well, after she answers the common or elvish, um, I'm going to jump in while there's a little pause. And
Mm-hmm.
after eyeing the knitwork flower, while Thank you once, Miss Brooke, for allowing us in, and thank you for giving us information to help with your husband. But would it be too much to impose to take something like this? And I gesture to the flower as a way of letting him know that we're here and to ease his trust, to gain his trust.
I'm afraid that's all I have left of my homeland. But I have letters I've been writing I could give to you, and if you could deliver them for me.
Anything that could help us make sure that he knows we are people to be trusted.
And she takes a moment to go back to the food preparation because she was getting distracted away from it for a moment.
Right.
Zamtrak, do you want to help her out?
Zom's like, "You're ruining the food."
If she will take help, I will. Otherwise, I'll let her be.
After you had made the recommendation on the parsnips earlier, she looks over to you and
I hate to be a bother. Could I impose on you to help peel and slice those?
she points
Oh,
to the
yeah.
parsnips that you recommended.
Sure.
Go ahead and make a roll with your choice between history, survival, or intelligence for me with those.
Definitely survival. Oh, okay. That's a 22 total. Hold on, 19. Holy shit.
Them's some damn good parsnips.
Too
Or at least they're going to be as soon as the rest of the party finally eats them. So you go through and you help, and the two of you are just Gordon Ramsay and just killing it in the kitchen right now. While that's happening, Amarasi, while you are just kind of there, kind of aloof, just taking in everything, but not focusing on any one thing in particular, you feel a slight tug on your jacket.
Amarasi looks down to see what just pulled on his jacket.
You see Adelaide, and you see a she's holding up the slate, and it's got like a stick figure with man that's got like hair similar to yours, got the pack similar to yours, and she like kind of smiles as she holds it up for you.
He kind of looks down and is like, "You're a lovely artist. That's some good work I've there."
And then she offers the slate and the charcoal up to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Normally I would use painter's supplies, but I suppose I can make an exception. Emerasi tries to draw her, I suppose, then,
All right.
using the paper and charcoal.
Go ahead and do a performance check for me.
Okay. I got a 2.
She you go through and you draw, and you somehow do worse than the kid. You make just like a stick figure, a circle for a head, and then lines for hair, and then like 2 points coming off from the head as like slightly pointy ears, but they're a little too pointy.
He hands it back and is like, "See, lass, I'm not a great artist. You outcompete me any day. Painting, I can do, but drawing, I'm terrible at."
And as you're talking about like painting instead of drawing, you see that she looks kind of like puzzled.
So I. Yeah.
You okay over there, Arma?
Yeah, I just about got tossed from my chair again.
Oh, yeah, that would have been bad.
I'm gonna quickly pull out my Tinker's tools then and create painter's supplies, which last for an hour,
Okay.
and start trying to paint a picture of her.
I will let you do a performance check this time with advantage.
Okay. I got a nat 20 on my first one, so. And
You
then
draw
other
it-
one is a 6.
You paint, and it is a lifelike recreation of her. It is remarkable how accurate you made a painting of her. And you hand it to her. I'm guessing you hand it to her, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
And like her jaw drops and her eyes go wide as she looks. And she's like trying to turn it because she kind of thinks it's a mirror at first. And then when she sees it's not moving like a mirror would, she kind of just like looks up at you and like looks over at the painter's tools. And then just a huge smile.
Oh gosh.
You see the one of the teeth that's missing in the front as she smiles up at you, this toothy smile.
Emross is kind of stunned with his own ability at this point. So he kind of looks back to her and looks at the painting and says, "Someday you'll create something like that, I'm sure. Just keep practicing."
Outside, Maximus, is there anything in particular you're looking for, or you're just basically patrolling around the building to see if anybody is making their
Yeah,
way to there?
because like I've noticed as we've been going through the day that people have taken heed of us. I'm making sure that nobody has tried to follow us to this poor woman's house.
Mhm.
And I'm also, if it is okay with you, I would like to leave um minor glyphs under the windows um with the pretty much for the cantrip spell Mind Sliver. So if anybody does try to break in, it'll activate the glyph and get them to go away.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Booby trap in the house.
More like defensive.
A little bit of Home
Yeah.
Alone.
Yeah, little home defense.
Swinging cane pans or paint cans.
I mean,
Yeah.
Home Alone didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, and Mind Sliver won't kill you either.
But
It'll just hurt
it
you.
definitely
It'll
had the
give you a
capability
headache.
to.
Yeah, it'll give you a headache. Badooch.
All right. So then back inside, boss, what are you doing?
Actually, just listening. Zom is doing most of the heavy lifting for all the information. Just waiting for those letters, but they're cooking, so
Yep.
there's no rush.
So a little bit of time goes by, and they finish the meal. Just some simple roasted poultry with some herbs and salt on a bed of roasted vegetables, including some beautifully roasted parsnips.
Them super snips.
And then Irissa carrying a tray of the food out to the table and loudly announces for everyone that dinner is ready, and then opens the door and calls out to Maximus as well that dinner is ready.
Yeah, he's rounding the last corner as he's called. He goes, "Thank you, miss. I am on my way."
So you all get inside. She asks, she just, as she finishes setting the table with just some simple wooden utensils, she finishes serving up some food for everyone and then takes a moment. It's like, if you could all just pardon me a moment. And you see her just bow her head for just a moment and mutter something. And then she looks up and, all right, dig in.
Zom does the same.
And
Max is going to eat standing up because tiny chairs, big man.
Sure.
Zom's probably going to sit on the floor.
Zom is,
Emrossi, who is like as thin as a child, will take a chair, of course.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was like, I feel odd being just semi-normal. I'll sit down at the table.
Yeah.
Which is perfect because there were only 4 chairs really. So
Yeah.
So as you were all sitting, Zamtarak, as you are sitting on the floor, your head is still right about like level, kind of in between, like level with the adults that are sitting at the table and Adelaide.
Yep. He
And
just sits there eating quietly.
as you are all eating this delicious meal, especially for each of you, because none of you have had a home cooked meal in a while, especially not Zamtarok and Amarasi, who have been eating mostly ship rations and stuff for the past few days.
Hardtack is great.
Yeah, some Hellfire stew maybe, or Hellfire chili.
Maybe. Skilly and Duff.
So, this nice little moment after all the stress of trying to get onto the expedition, as well as getting a good home cooked meal in your stomachs, you all gain a +2 to your morale, which means you all have DM inspiration.
Sweet.
So, you go through and you all have your meal together. Do any of you do anything in particular during the meal or anything like that? Oh,
Express my gratitude to the chef.
hello.
People.
Zom's just gonna eat quietly, and then after a little bit, he's going to ask Adelaide directly. So, how old does Adelaide actually look? Like, is she like 4, 3, 5?
So she looks about like 4 or 5, but she is a
Okay.
half elf, so she.
Yeah.
Because she could be 15.
He's gonna ask her if she's. So, are you going to school or learning?
She like tilts her
Where do you
head.
go when your mother works?
She tilts her head, and then Irissa kind of just leans over, and I don't know if this is normal where you're from, but here only the wealthy children can afford to go to the schools.
Oh. So
I
I'm
teach her-
assuming you don't own any books then.
None to speak of aside from a couple of small ones. I try to teach her where I can,
Okay.
using the slate and charcoal, though she much prefers to draw with it instead of practicing her letters.
All right.
Well, you see, Boss is also a shapeshifter.
Well, you gotta learn your letters and your numbers. Very important. Reading, writing, arithmetic.
Absolutely. It's amazing and startling how necessary it is these days.
Likely will only get more so.
If you'd like, I can give you a leather book with a bottle of ink and an ink pen.
I couldn't possibly accept.
I carry most of my books with me. I've got more than I need for study.
Well, if you're certain, then certainly we'd be happy to accept it.
Of course. He kind of digs around in his bag and pulls out what's supposed to be a book for a diary, but I mean it works. And then a bottle of ink and an ink pen. And then hands them over.
All right. And Irissa takes it and is like,
I'll put it away upstairs. Don't want her to get too overexcited and spill the ink over it.
Right.
And you see a
And-
little bit of a pouty look on Adelaide's face as Irissa says that. So yeah, so for Boss, because I know he just got back, given the meal that you all have had and how it's the first home cooked meal most of you had in some time, it's bringing your spirits back up. So you get a +2 to your morale, and you now have DM inspiration.
Well, hoot, Danny, them parsnips must be sure good.
Like I said, them some damn good parsnips.
My compliments to the chef 100% on the way there.
Irissa just sort of like sheepishly looks over at Zemturok and, oh, it was all him. He was the one I was helping out in the kitchen.
You can't say nothing for yourself either.
It's been a joy to have you all here, all the same. I do hope that if you go to the new lands, that you'll look for my husband and let him know we're well.
We will.
And as you all go through and finish the meal, she gathers up all the wooden plates and everything and takes it over to a small little basin. And then she quickly runs upstairs and comes back down with a bundle wrapped in some just cheap cloth of letters and hands them over to you, boss.
While she runs upstairs, Maximus is actually going to do the dishes for her.
Aw. Okay, you get
Sums?
to work on those dishes.
How long does it take her to run upstairs?
It's like a minute because she runs up, and then these are things she
She
didn't
has to
think it
search
should
for
be.
something.
She has to search for the letters. She didn't think that there'd be someone she could give them to so soon.
Zom is going to ask Adelaide. Adelaide, is there anywhere in particular that you would know that your mother often looks every day?
She like furrows her brow and starts thinking. And then she like lights up and nods yes.
Where?
And she looks concerned because she's trying to think of how to let you know where it is. And she starts tugging on your shirt.
He goes with her.
And right as she's tugging is when Irissa comes down with a bundle of letters. And she leads you up and then points over on the bedside stand opposite of the side that you can see on the bed is more recently used. And you see another slate where a little bit better done stick figure that looks kind of like the description that Arissa was giving of Leafin.
Ah.
And she points over at it.
Thank you. While Arissa is interacting with Boss, Zom's going to reach into his bag, pull out a small burlap sack, and as quietly as he can, put 100 copper in it and put it by that slate.
Okay. So that all happens downstairs. The letters are being given over to Boss. Maximus is doing the dishes. Amarasi, what are you doing?
Not much. I was gonna do the dishes, but it seems to be covered.
Yeah, I get it. I'm big.
You can always help.
Yeah, that'll help with the dishes, I guess. I don't know
How's-
with the size though. I'm gonna have to really squeeze in to see them.
You clean the
Do
table.
do an investigation check for me, Amarasi.
Got it covered, and Arma's like, I get it, I'm big.
I got a 15.
So you see, there's not too much room near the basin. Even if it were just Irissa that were standing by it, it's a small space. But you do notice a few, just from like people walking in and eating, and not everybody eating at the table, but it was understandable. Little bits of debris and scraps of food and stuff that had kind of like dropped onto the floor out in the main room.
Okay, yeah, I'll just clean up where I can then.
Okay. After Irissa hands the bundle of letters over to Boss, she sees people getting to work, doing the dishes and cleaning the floors, and she's like, "Oh no, please! I wouldn't feel it wouldn't feel right as the host to accept your helping out with these."
Yeah, Maximus is just going to not effectively ignore her, but just continue to work on the dishes.
Sam comes back over and is like, "We're here. We might as well do some work."
I just like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I just had the thought of just like Maximus hears this and he goes back to it with even more of a vigor. And I was going to be like, cool, do an attack roll on the plate.
You
With
show that plate
advantage.
off.
Kill that filth. Let's go.
That's right.
These dishes have never been cleaner.
Dish Cleaning Simulator 2022.
Zamtaruk gets to work cleaning the stove and just divine smites the grease away.
He knife hands it, just super clean, just like
He casts Dawn.
It's like
Don't
it's like a
bother.
JoJo fight.
God, I hate it.
We
I
take
hate it, those
turns, and then everything gets clean.
It's like, all right, time to clean. Roll for initiative. Let's go.
Actually, while everyone else is helping out, I'm going to take the letters and I'm going to kind of like obviously put them away in my satchel, or I guess I have a coat as well, or I have a cloak. And just all I say is thank you, thank you. And
Okay.
as now she's starting to notice everyone, I'm going to kind of use the bustle going on, and I'm going to leave.
Okay. Make a stealth check for me.
Weep.
Oh, that's a sleight of hand.
Oh, I clicked on the wrong S. Okay, where are you? My stealth is 2 better. So,
Okay, so a 19. Does anyone have a passive perception that's greater than 19?
Not even close.
Yeah. Yeah, you sneak out.
So, with that in hand, I'm going to make my way to the church where I was directed for the paladin information.
Okay. And it's now nighttime. You're walking the streets. Just a couple of small sconces in front of some houses being some of the only light out on the street. You, after some time, make your way down the streets past the tumbling tankard, which you see it literally down the street and then around the corner.
Yeah. You're like, damn it.
And you continue past the fountain and then eventually reach the church. Since it is nighttime, it is closed. And the doors are shut.
Sanctuary.
Looking at it, does it seem as if there's light or any activity inside?
There is light inside. It is dim, but it's there.
Um, Instead of going in, I also kind of want to walk around and like basically survey the building itself, windows, possible entry points.
Okay. Off to the right, you see a garden with just some trees and stuff like that, which then further wraps around and connects with a cemetery, which is behind the temple. Aside from that, make a... I'll let you choose between perception and investigation.
Well, my perception, I haven't been rolling super well, but technically it's my better roll. Yep, there it is. Okay, the second roll isn't going to count, but let's just see. God damn it.
Damn, nailed it twice.
Literally the same either way.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow. So aside from the obvious front door, and then the windows, the ones that are not stained glass are higher up, a little too high for you to see into. The stained glass one, you see some light coming from them, but you can't see into them really because stained.
Mm-hmm.
And you presume that there's probably at least one other door that leads in, probably on the other side, where the cemetery is. Maybe one by the garden, but you didn't see one when you were just kind of glancing around quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Also because the temple is decently close to the town hall, and as you approached the temple and you started looking and you went around the left side of the building, all of a sudden you hear, "Mr. Angel Bro, please, like, if you could just help. I know I've been asking a lot, man, but like..."
It hasn't been 5 hours? Oh my god.
It's probably only been like 2 or 3.
It's been about 3.
Yeah, right. No. I know this is my own fault, so I'm not gonna go kill this dude, but Jesus. Alright,
I have
so
to silence the voices.
that's it, yeah. So due to not getting a good feel for the church and also the incessant dude bro, I'm going to make my way back to whatever inn is closest so I can rest. We have 3 weeks, so there's no need to rush anything.
Wouldn't you know it, the closest one to that area is the Sparkling Siren.
Oh my gosh. Wait. Is it a mile away from douchebag?
No.
Then I'm not staying there.
The furthest in from the town hall.
It is the moment I stop hearing him, I'll find the closest one.
Well, it's
Mr.
either
Angel Bro, if you could
Yeah,
it's either that or just wait 2 hours. So
that's fair. Okay, so I'll just wait 2 hours. Can I also put a detriment to myself?
yes.
In real life, it would be incessantly annoying, so I would assume I would like to lose sanity for it.
Yeah, you lose 1 of your morale on that.
Oh yeah,
And
so
you've...
just be like, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes for a while of just like constant, incessant pleading, just like, "Please, Mr. Angel Dude Bro," like, and then it stops. And you have a moment of relief.
And then, hey, it's me again, man. I just, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but like, I could really use your help right now, man. Back over at the Brook residence. You finished cleaning the floors, you finished cleaning the dishes, the kitchen, it's all looking immaculate. And Irissa has made something warm for each of you to drink as thanks. It's not much. A little bit of spices together with some warmed wine, but hopefully it works as a thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
And then, as the last one of you takes a cup from her, you hear a scream of pain outside one of the windows. And with that, we will end today's session.
Nice.
All right, interesting.
Awesome.
Goddamn trap. You got him.
Not the type of
Got
trap I
me.
would have hoped for, to be honest. But
Yeah, I was gonna say like all you're gonna see is Maximus like over his cup just smirk. It's just like fade to black.